So right now, just give me 1 second. Just for feel good sake, I'm going to go with the Marlins. Not the Marlins. Yeah, the Marlins. That's not a feel good story right there at all. At least the White Sox are in town, the worst team in baseball. You're trying to end a 4-game skid and not be the worst team in baseball. Take on the worst team. That's the games I want to go to, oddly enough, man, because, you get all that good stuff. You got a chance to win. You can kind of be laid back, see what happens.
Bro, the Marlins definitely know how to host a game. Whether or not they know how to win a game, that's the different story.
So, yeah, I'm going with the Panthers simply because the celebration continues. They're going to get their names engraved onto the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, it's good. That's a positive way of looking at it.
Right. We've got enough time to talk about DeMar DeRozan throughout the next couple of weeks. Every offseason, we're held hostage by one player, it seems like. And I thought we were good. Donovan Mitchell signs to the Cavs right away. Okay. Paul George, boom, to the 76ers. Okay. All that chatter is shut up. And then DeMar DeRozan, mutual interest with the Heat. No!
Isn't it crazy? It's gone from like Kevin Durant to like Dame Lillard to like DeMar DeRozan.
Yes, that is it.
That's great.
Yeah, every offseason it's something. And I mean, every offseason too, we think it's a lock it down, grand slam home run, sure thing. Like Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving, that's probably going to happen. Yep. We really thought Damian Lillard, I mean, he said this is the only team he wanted to play for. He said we'll make it happen.
We were screwed on that one, though. We were definitely screwed on that one.
But we didn't get it.
Too bad, so sad. At the end of the day, he's in Milwaukee.
Yeah. And now there's DeMar DeRozan talk. And like I said, with the salary cap and with the way things would have to work, it's going to be really hard to swing that. But can't count on anybody.
Do I got to give up anything for that too? Or is this like I can just sign him? I'm not sure if this is a thing where I have to give up pieces.
Yeah, you'd have to do a sign and trade.
Oh, okay. I already have DeMar DeRozan, but like a good DeMar. I mean, not to say that DeMar DeRozan is bad. He averaged 24 points yesterday. He only shoots mid-range shots. Obviously, he has basketball talent. I'm not discounting that at all. But like, what am I going to do? Am I going to sign this guy for him to come off the bench? Or where does he fit into my starting lineup? He can't be my point guard. I already have a shooting guard. He's going to be my small forward or something like that. I don't know. And also, he's not necessarily young. I know he's not probably as old as Jimmy Butler, but let's see. DeMar DeRozan is,
I would say he's 32.
34. Yeah, I guess he is.
He's right by Jimmy Butler.
He is. I know. Also, he made an appearance in the Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us" video.
Oh, okay. Well, that does that gives you an extra year.
He's going to the Lakers. I think that's what's going to happen then.
Lakers, that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's in the "Not Like Us" video. He's already telling us.
He's from
read between the lines.
He's from Compton.
He is from Compton. It is just, it is something that he mentioned in the diss tracks. I believe Kendrick Lamar told Drake, I'm glad we got DeMar back. Had to get out of Toronto. Although they won the ship the year he left.
Yes, they did. That happened. Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Oh,
1 year rental. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good return on your rental right there.
Yeah, and I'd take him if they're blowing things up in Clipperland, but I don't think they are, unfortunately.
And a lot of people question Kawhi's ability to play and showing up. He wasn't. He was on one of the NBA first 3 teams, which means he played enough games to be eligible to be on one of those first 3 teams. And Jimmy Butler did not. So to say Kawhi Leonard is fragile and never plays, well, he played more than Jimmy Butler did. Zion Williamson played more than Jimmy Butler did. That's why you get Pat Riley saying he needs to play more. Shut up and play more.
68 games last year for Kawhi Leonard.
Yep.
Not bad.
Well, I started noticing like 2 years ago, he was actually playing more because I'd get home late from doing trivia or from playing music. Yeah. And a lot of times the Clippers games were on, and I'd be like, oh, let me see what's going on. I was like, man, Kawhi Leonard's been out there the whole game. He's been playing. And people are always like, when was the last time you played? I'm like, actually played last night. He scored 25. They're like, no. So
68 games, Jimmy Butler 60 games. And if you think about it, a difference of that, let's say Jimmy Butler plays 8 more games for the Miami Heat. And even if they go 50% on those games, that's still 4 more wins. And as close as the East standings were, that's the difference between getting in a play-in game in which he got injured or, being the 6th seed and playing some garbage team.
Right. And I think that's why you haven't had as much pushback from Pat Riley saying that stuff about you need to shut up and play more. Is because the proof is in the pudding. The evidence is there. Jimmy, you just have to play more. And I'm not saying that he hasn't been injured at some points, but I do think there's some points where, like some of the players are today, maybe didn't go all out at certain points. So let's get to the headlines and see what's happening in the world. These headlines are brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford, we know trucks.
We know trucks.
I'm sorry.
I don't have
Palmetto Ford.
Anymore. We know truck. He needs to leave a truck in studio. That's what we need to do. One truck needs to be left in studio. I'm calling for it.
Another national outlet predicts the Canes will be in the ACC championship game. This time it's Andy Staples of On 3. Miami also got a commit from 4-star Orlando area QB Darian Coleman. A lot of outlets are saying that the Canes this year will make the ACC championship game. There's even one the other day from 24/7 that said that they're going to be in the inaugural 12-team playoff.
Wow.
As ACC runner-up. So interesting. We'll see if Mario Cristobal in his third year can have a culmination and start getting things going.
This is it, dude. This is it for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I'm not gonna be like a completely rats off of shit, but let's say he has a horrible season, or like let's say I see another decision like him not kneeing the ball when he needs to.
Yeah. Well, you got 7 more years to figure it out.
Okay. Yep. Perfect.
Well, I mean, not that he would make it all 7 if he continues to play coach poorly, but
I've seen people paid out of contracts.
Yeah, but that's a lot of years.
It definitely is.
That's a Jimbo Fisher type deal with the Texas A&M.
Yeah,
man. The Heat have signed veteran Knicks shooting guard Alec Burks.
Oh, there you go. Splash.
Yeah, he can
Look
shoot.
at that, baby.
The deal is said to be for 1 year, so they're just kind of like trying to get some depth.
Here we go.
Alec Burks been around for a while.
Take that, Philly. What do you think of that?
We'll see. Alec Burks.
They're quivering in their boots.
I know they're worried. They're worried. The Marlins lost in the 12th inning yesterday, 6-5 to the Red Sox. The Fish look to end a 4-game skid against Major League Baseball's worst White Sox tonight at 7:10. Brian Hoeing gets the start for the Fish.
Oh, so we're back-to-back against the Sox. Huh? We go red, we go white.
We go from the Red Sox to the White
Anybody
Sox.
Else?
2 different worlds.
Dirty Sox.
But yeah, so the White Sox are in town for a 3-game series. No gimmies in this league, especially with the Marlins. Sometimes they'll go up against really good teams and play well. Sometimes they'll go against really bad teams and play poorly.
That's how we do.
That's really how we do. No Messi, no problem again for Inter Miami. They went into Charlotte and won 2-1 Wednesday. The top-ranked MLS team, Inter Miami, will take on the second-ranked MLS team, Cincinnati, tomorrow at 7:30.
Ooh. Big game.
Messi doesn't play, and we just keep winning. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, Messi's done a good job of recruiting a lot of his friends.
So. Yeah, he has done that. And
I believe we have a couple people still playing. Tata. Is Tata around?
Tata's still coaching.
Right.
He's got Jordi Alba. Sergio Busquets is still playing.
Look at that.
Yeah, so you get a little bit of that. And this is the beautiful thing. You keep winning and getting 3 points without Messi. That means when Messi and Suarez do return to the team, whenever that may be, it could give them a little bit of time to rest, relax, recover, and then make a run towards the end of the season.
Not this Messi, though. Yeah, he's been stinking it up, man.
I mean, he missed a penalty kick last night.
What are we doing over here? What are we doing?
Oh, man.
You're making us look bad, bro. Do it for the MLS.
Do it for the MLS. Panthers names will be added to the Stanley Cup this week. Then each player will get their assigned day with the cup later in the show. Ooh. Marcos, we're going to talk about what you would do and what I would do with our day with the cup.
Yeah, that's good. I got to get the dimensions of both sides because, you can flip it upside down. You can have it the other way. I got to determine which side of the cup I'm going to be filling with stuff.
Okay. I don't know. Drinking or eating out of that cup scares me a little bit.
No way, dude. You got to do it almost.
Okay. The Heat, they actually begin Summer League tomorrow at 6:30 versus Golden State in San Francisco.
Nice. Do you watch Summer League? Is that something you...
I tried, but not so much. No, not really. It's a lot of people you don't know. A lot of people that aren't going to make the team.
I don't know, man. With the Heat, there's always a guy. There's always some guy.
Yeah, and it'll be good to see Kel'el Ware.
For sure.
He'll be playing for sure.
As of recent, it's been the draft picks. But before, it was like, who's this Duncan Robinson? Who the hell is this Kendrick Nunn?
What's his name? Kendrick Nunn. Who's the big Turkish guy?
Oh, Omer Yurtseven.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's always a guy.
Max Strus was a big summer league guy.
Max Strus, yeah. Even Jovic, when Jovic was drafted, that's someone who it's like, all right, let's keep an eye on it. So I'm not going to tell you that I'm tuned in necessarily.
Well, the big story tomorrow.
What's that?
Bronny James will get his first start for the LA Summer League team.
You know what I've heard, and tell me if you agree with this. The actual veterans and NBA players that are on starting lineups come regular season time, they're not mad at Bronny. And they don't care. They're not going to give him that welcome to the NBA treatment. These summer leaguers,
they're
going to cook this man.
Yeah, they're going to go after him really hard because they're going to most likely feel that he was drafted because of his dad, and they want to show him up, and they want to be rough with him, and they want to be mean. The NBA, these guys are so much better and so good. They don't go out there with personal vendettas and say, "Oh, we're going to," and especially a rookie. Like, what do you think? I'm trying to think of. You think Chris Paul is going out there after all these years? I got to shut down this Bronny James and embarrass him.
No, but I do feel like there are certain rookies that do garner that. For example, I do feel like a Wemby is like, I got to dunk on this guy. Or like, when LeBron came into the league, it's like, you think you're Jordan or something like that. Obviously, those are 20 years apart. There's definitely been other examples since then. But there are some rookies that garner that attention. I don't think Bronny does.
No, not at the level he is.
I got some numbers for you that I want to compare that, everyone's been talking about this nepotism or whatever the case may be. And the Lakers are quick to say that, he earned this, but Marcus Jordan, Michael Jordan's son, Larsa Pippen's boo.
Oh, goodness. Did he play at UCF?
He did. He was a UCF Knight. 12.3 points a game. That's pretty good. 2.9 rebounds, 2.7 assists.
Well, his dad wasn't in the league when he got eligible to go to the NBA. That's why.
Indeed. Now, Bronny James, on the other hand, 4.8 points a game.
Okay.
2.8 rebounds, 2 assists.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here? Do you think there should have been a Marcus Jordan in the league?
No.
You wouldn't have seen Marcus Jordan. Now, I mean, but you accept Bronny, Dan?
Yeah, no, I'll say this.
Bronny James.
To see Michael Jordan and Marcus Jordan play together
that's
would be great.
Would have liked, yeah.
That's the whole point of it all. Like,
probably had a better chance of Scottie Pippen and Marcus Jordan playing together. Jordan Pippen part 2.
Saying a lot of people are saying, or at least some people are talking about this. John Burks for ESPN says Bronny James can make his mark in the league, especially early on, by playing defense, being a defensive stopper, because that would give him a lot of credit.
Yeah.
And maybe he's not the best scorer, but it would be something that he can hang his hat on and, point to him and like, I belong because I go out there maybe not even every night, but I go out there and shut down their best player, or I offer up my services, to stop their best player. So I think that might be his best niche. I don't know how great his defense is, but we shall see. Tomorrow is going to be big summer league games. Excited. Last night, Argentina survived Ecuador in a shootout. Advancing in the Copa America. Tonight, Venezuela v. Canada. That is at 9:00. The Euros, we got action at noon. Germany and Spain. And at 3, France and Portugal. Yeah. Those are big ones right there.
Anyone in particular? Who do you got? You like the French, aren't you?
Of course.
Yeah, you got to go for France.
Germany, Spain. Those are just 2 really good teams. And then France, Portugal. You just feel as though, what's his name? Cristiano Ronaldo's going to find a way not to win. He almost did it the other day. He missed some easy ones.
So I'm crying. A lot of crying going on.
Dude. Yeah, he was crying.
He was crying his eye. And you know what? Before, but this doesn't weigh into the battle of the GOATs, because I do remember before he won that World Cup, old Messi crying and retiring, and then he won a World Cup.
Yeah.
So does that mean Portugal's on the way to World Cup, Dan? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know about that.
I agree with you, Dan.
Patrick Bertoletti won his first Nathan's hot dog eating competition yesterday on the Coney Island. He wolfed down 58 hot dogs and buns in just 10 minutes. Second place was at 53.
53. Wow. See, you know what I like about this? It's not just like a blowout for first place and see who comes in second. There seems to be some sort of legit competition there.
Right. That's what made it exciting this year. As opposed to the past years.
Did you watch any second of it?
No,
not 1 second of it. Do you ever watch it? 1 second of it?
I try to, but it's hard to find on the computers sometimes.
Oh, that's fair.
So if I'd have been here at the radio station, yes.
Yeah, that's true. Cable. You got cable.
Keeping with the Tobin and Leroy show, the WBC has suspended Ryan Garcia indefinitely after repeatedly using racial slurs on social media.
Yes, I heard it. Did you hear it by any chance?
I read them, and that was enough for me.
All right, well, you're going to play the clip right now. Here you go, unedited. No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say, go ahead.
No, I didn't capture the audio because it is indeed something that is worth suspension.
Right.
I
would think if you even edited it, it'd still be uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, it's very totally.
You don't have to use your imagination to know what he's saying. Ugh.
Yeah, and to each his own. I'm not even I'm not even angry at him for the things that he said because it doesn't seem like it was done in a place of malice. It seems like there was an attention-seeking element to it, and I do think that there's something mentally wrong with him. He's currently denying a lot of help. According, I think they even released that in their statement as they suspended him. That, you know, they've extended opportunities for him to seek help, and clearly we're kind of just watching him spiral into a weird place. But God bless him. Hope everything goes well. Maybe the suspension will do him right.
Yeah, let's hope so. Real quick, you want to do it, Marcos? You want to go ahead and take a step into the day spa? Yesterday at a family cookout, a father was asked to be the judge of food. He chose his wife's food as the winner over his grandchildren's food as the winner.
Yeah.
You know what they say.
What do they say?
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, happy life, Dan.
Look, you love your grandkids, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what are you going to do? The grandkids don't care if they win the competition. Yeah. Oh, yay, we won. But your wife, she probably does.
You know, I heard, and I don't know if this is a biblical thing. I think you're supposed to honor your wife before even your kids. That's what they say.
Yeah. My thing is this. Have you ever had a girlfriend, a wife, your mom, somebody, or even, a family member say, ooh, you really have to try my, I don't know, lasagna. It's the best in the world. And you try and it's just really not that good.
Oh, yeah.
What's your response, though, to them?
Oh, I lie.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, so good. Oh, my.
Go
seconds. Just give me seconds now. Wouldn't it be cool? They're like, oh, do you like it?
Yeah, for sure.
Here I'm wolfing down 3 pieces of lasagna. I don't even want to eat.
Very dry lasagna.
Well, next time you come, I'll make it again. Oh, no, too much of a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm watching my weight.
I don't want to ruin it, That's the thing. I had such a great time this time.
Yeah. Oh, what's up with the cup? Marcos and I will talk about that next here on the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM. What's up with the Cup? This next week, all of the names of the Florida Panthers will be engraved on the Stanley Cup, and they will get their assigned day with the Cup. And there's been some crazy things that have happened with that Cup. Some we can talk about on the air. Many we cannot talk about on the air.
That was my favorite.
Goodness gracious. Nonetheless, that brought me to this thought.
Yep.
With my one day with the Cup, what
Yes.
would I do?
Yeah, that's interesting. 24 hours. Let's say for some reason the man with the cup delivers it to your home at midnight and expects it back at your residence at midnight.
Okay.
Let's hear your 24 hours with the cup.
Whew, at midnight, though, that makes it tough.
Yeah, it does make it tough. Yeah, for sure.
So I'll probably take it out to Live or...
Okay, so you're starting the party like that. Yeah, that makes
well,
sense.
Got limited time, limited time.
For sure. That makes sense.
Live, 11, Space, whatever
Okay.
late night party club.
Yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
party all night. And then where's a good breakfast spot to take the Cup?
All right, so obviously there's a Waffle House.
Wait, where's Waffle?
That's on 441.
Oh, yeah, I've been to that one.
Yeah, so there's that Waffle House for sure.
That would make good pictures. The
Yeah.
Cup at a Waffle House.
You know where you got to take it for real though. That this is actually a good spot. It's a Yambos. You got to take it to Yambos, that Nicaraguan fritanga that they have in downtown.
Okay.
Or close to downtown. There, it's a staple. So much so they've changed the name to the road. It is now Yambos Road.
Wow.
You have to go there. You have an opportunity, as Silly Sauce mentions here, depending on what time you go. If it's before, like on a weekend, before 2 a.m., before 3 a.m., you can take it to Flanagan's.
Yeah, that'd be very South Florida.
Get some beers at Flanagan's. So you have, if they drop it off at midnight, you can definitely start the night off correctly. I wasn't even thinking about that.
I got to make the rounds. So let's take it to Live or 11 or Space or something like that. Party. Wake up. I like the idea of there being a picture of the Stanley Cup at a Waffle House.
Yeah, that's fun.
Maybe you can pour the syrup in the top of the lid and pour it onto your waffles and stuff like that.
That's a lot of sticky.
So then now you got the midday you got to deal with, the most of the
sure.
day. So trying to think. So maybe go to Max Club Deuce because they're basically open 24 hours in South Beach.
Okay.
So you can hit up one of the dive bars, one of the staples.
So you're going all night. You're not sleeping.
Oh, it's 24 hours of
24 hours.
good times.
Okay.
So then maybe after a couple of beers at Max Club Deuce, maybe you go back home to quote unquote freshen up. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Yeah, you have some friends over, you freshen up,
Love that.
enjoy the Cup. Then you get back out, and then you could take it to like a Flanagan's, have a couple drinks.
What time is this now that you're?
It's like 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock,
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Jeez, Dan, you need to sleep.
I know. Well, then I was laid down for a little bit,
All right.
and then after the Flanagan's, try to take. You got to take it to Funky Buddha because Funky Buddha is the official craft beer of the Florida Panthers.
Yep.
And I got to take it to a brewery of some type. What better brewery
sure.
than to take it to
Funky
Funky
Buddha.
Buddha? And the people will respect it so much and love it.
You can drink some gloves off out of the cup. It's the Panthers official beer that you can get at the Amarant Bank Arena.
Ooh.
So you can drink it out of the cup.
And then maybe run around to a couple of more dive bars and restaurants and go to places like that. Bob's Your Uncle on the Rocks. And then, you got till midnight and you go back. I'll be pretty hammered the whole time.
I was to say, as of right now, this seems like 10 p.m. And Dan, you've barely slept.
Nope.
I think you mentioned food at one point. I can't even remember.
Yeah. We went to Waffle House.
Yeah, that was at this point, that was about 16 hours ago. So it's 10 p.m. You got 2 hours left with the Cup. What's the final thing you do?
Oh, no, that's the thing. Oh, it's a tough choice. You got just such little time.
Do you go back to the club? Do you go?
Yeah, it's just hard to go to the club 2 times in one day. It messes with your brain.
That's where you draw the line. Huh?
Yeah, it messes with your brain.
All right.
I'd like to take it out to the beach at some point. So maybe at some point.
Nighttime beach?
No, nighttime beach is kind of rough. I want to go to a daytime beach and have a towel next to me or something.
Yeah, that's fair. That you got to push it back. Then you got to push back one of your lunchtime events.
Right. I don't want to throw it in the water like Kachuk did.
Kachuk did that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Delicious.
But then I don't know. Last 2 hours.
It's had a great night.
Yeah, it's had a good time.
Should probably clean it
probably just in keeping with being a hockey player and having a good time. Take it at Tootsie's or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was my spot.
Close out the evening with a nice Shake Shack, thing. And then have the keeper of the cup pick it up and say, see you next year.
There you go, buddy. See you next year.
What you got, Marcos? What are you doing with the cup?
So, you started midnight with a party, and I think, damn, that was not even close to where I was thinking. I'm thinking it's getting to my home at midnight. I'm already settled in. I probably had a few party favors prior to that time. I'm eating ice cream out of the cup. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
We eating some ice cream out of the cup. I'm putting whatever toppings I'd like. And then you know what, dude? I'm going to sleep.
Oh.
I'm going to sleep for at least, let's see. I'm going to sleep. It gets to my cup at midnight. The cup gets to my home at about midnight. I'm asleep by 1 a.m., maybe 1:30. And you know what? I'm up at 8 or 9 a.m. because I'm also going to the beach with the cup.
Yeah.
Got to take the cup to the beach, show it off to everyone. It looks better in the sun.
Yeah, it really does.
I would like to show the cup Fort Lauderdale Beach when it's not storming.
Right. Right.
I may take it to the parade round and be like, you remember this, buddy? Do you remember this time?
And I would also hire a photographer to follow me around for the day.
Oh, you need that.
Photographer/videographer, just because it's so many good pictures.
That's included for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and make my first stop at Tootsie's though, for lunch. That's gonna be my lunch. Get some chicken wings for sure. I haven't decided whether or not I'm gonna buy the cup of dance. It depends,
I would think it's the cup. It gets its own dances.
It should. But sometimes you want to look out for your boy. So we'll see how Lord Stanley treats me in that sense. Following that, we got to take a trip to Wynwood. I think that's a spot that it hasn't had a chance to visit yet.
Where's a good spot in Wynwood you want to take it to?
There's always Wynwood is one of those places that's constantly growing and constantly changing. So I would honestly say if it isn't your stereotypical, visit to Dirty Rabbits or Shots or something like that, then it'd be one of these places that's like, when the hell did this even, you ever walk by a Wynwood spot? Like, when the hell did this even come up? I've never seen this before.
Like, Shots does not exist anymore.
It doesn't?
No.
When?
Oh, it's been like a year.
Jesus Christ. You see?
Wood Tavern actually reopened its Shots and then closed again.
Okay, so I know that Wood Tavern had closed. Didn't know that it reopened and it closed again.
Yeah, but I think they're looking for a new spot in Alapata.
Wow, okay, but I guess it's time to get out of Wynwood. You know what? We're taking the cup out of Wynwood.
No, I mean, I think that's a good thing.
You know where I got to take it though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Things so far have been pretty smooth, pretty cool. I got to take it to my favorite pizzeria, Antonio's Pizza in Miramar.
Oh,
once I stop by there with the cup, take a couple pictures, I think I've had myself a good time. We go back home, we play some Xbox together, and we have a good night. I'm very, very low key with it. It's not a lot of partying. There's been a lot of take it here, drinking out of it, which I will as well. But there's going to be a time where the cup just needs some rest. And so do I. So me and the cup are just going to have a chill day together, Dan.
Yeah, sounds a little more laid back. Try to do a lot of craziness. I would like to get down, get
Tootsie's
crazy.
at noon.
Tootsie's at noon is pretty solid. That's pretty rough.
Good time.
That's a good one. Yeah, but I try to be as South Florida as possible while still being true to myself. Like I said, we will do the Tootsies, we'll do the dive bars, we'll do the nightclubs. I said I like the idea of the Waffle House. That always excites me, man. That's a great picture because like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, they were in town not too long ago, and it's like one of their things. Flea and maybe like John Frusciante, they try to go to the most local on the closest Waffle House and eat. Just straight up after a concert, go eat. Nice. And like people are all, oh my goodness. And it always makes for good pictures and stuff like that. So
it's true.
Maybe Waffle House International or National, whatever, hits you up and says, we'll give you a pass, man. You can come to Waffle House whenever you want.
Come with Lord Stanley.
Lord Stanley. And like I said, I like the Funky Buddha idea because they are the craft beer of the Florida Panthers. And, you go there, you bring it to a brewery, you say, this is one of the people that have supported you and all that stuff. So that's a pretty good day.
Maybe I'll get a massage too. Maybe we'll go to Massage Envy or something like that. Me and Lord Stanley.
Do you keep the cup right next to you as you're getting that massage?
No. It gets its own table.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So it's like a couples massage?
Yeah, we're just hanging out. We're having a date.
Couples massage.
It's a good time. You know where I'm keeping it away from? That damn elbow room.
It's been there enough. It's been there a lot.
Enough of that, dude.
I mean, I love elbow room. Don't get me wrong.
For sure, but I don't like the influence it has over my boy.
It's starting to get cliche too, like Everybody's lined up. Everybody's getting crazy. I like the fact that it's at a divey bar, party bar, beach bar. But you don't want to be cliche anymore. You want to just have a good.
We're cool, man. We're cool.
Yeah, you want to show it the town. I like the Wynwood idea. You just got to figure out where you're going to take it in Wynwood.
Jesus Christ. That's what I'm telling you. It's always like a new thing in Wynwood.
That's true.
When did this pop up?
That's true. Well, we'll see. All right, let's talk a little DeMar DeRozan next. We're going to get into it, Marcos, here on the Tobin and Leroy Show.
This is
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. The Miami Heat now, quote unquote, have mutual interest with the Chicago Bulls free agent DeMar DeRozan. Paul George goes signs with the 76ers. All right, we don't have to talk about him all summer. We might have to play him next year. That's not going to be fun. Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Paul George. say, wait a second, we're not done yet. There could be other players out there that we get a piece of, like Donovan Mitchell, always been rumored to have some connection to Miami. Obviously, those were rumors because he re-signed with the Cavaliers very quickly. Would rather be in Cleveland than Miami. Okay. DeMar DeRozan now, mutual interest. I don't know if this deal gets done, Marcos. It's going to take a trade. It's going to take a sign and trade. It's going to take something like that. You can't have. Let's look at the starting lineup next year. Realistically.
All right.
With health. Terry Rozier.
Yes.
Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler.
Correct. Sounding eerily familiar, unfortunately, thus far.
Nikola Jovic.
Potentially.
Bam Adebayo.
All right.
I don't know how good Kel'el Ware is going to be. I've never seen him play an NBA game.
Correct.
He's 7 foot tall, 7'3" wingspan. He can play defense. He was first team all defense in the Big Ten last year. He averaged 16, 10, and 2 blocks last year for Indiana. This guy does seem to be the limit. He also has no experience whatsoever. So to think that he would come in and be your starting center week 1 of the NBA season, I don't know if that's even realistic. To even put that on him.
True, but we do know that Spo kind of changed his tune in regards to trusting rookies with playing time. We saw Jaime Jaquez get a lot of run last year. And there was some times in which he started early on in the season, and that was times when he was playing his best, to be honest. Then he kind of hit some sort of wall and eventually was able to push through following an injury, but I know that there's actually a small chance that Kel'el Ware could start, as opposed to me before thinking this guy's going to be on the bench the whole year. You know?
I hope he starts. I hope he's that good to start because he would give you everything that you need. He'd give you a 5 that could go down low, take some defensive pressure. Bam could start moving around a little bit more doing his game. We'll have to wait and see. But if you were to do some type of sign and trade to get DeMar DeRozan, once again, it has to be some type of sign and trade. You cannot afford just to get him in the free agency market. You'd have to get rid of either Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson, or Tyler Hero.
And who would you, if you're in the GM seat right now, who are you most willing to get rid of in order to acquire DeMar DeRozan?
That's the problem.
That is a problem.
It's a big problem for a lot of reasons. Number one, you got to figure out who you're willing to part with. Terry Rozier, he's been a great scorer. Tyler Hero, he scores, but he's been hurt lately. Duncan Robinson coming off a big year. It's one of those things, though. How valuable now? We've tried to shop Tyler Hero a couple times, and there hasn't been a huge amount of interest in him.
No, there definitely hasn't. I don't know if Chicago's in a point, though, in which, like, beggars could be choosers kind of thing. That's kind of the same point that Portland was in last year, but they chose, screw the Heat. I don't know if Chicago is going to necessarily go the same route. And I think that if you are Chicago and you are going to get something in return, you are going to want to score. And we've seen Tyler Hero for, 4 years now, 5 years. So it seems like he should be at a certain point in our brain as an athlete, but when it comes to his age, he is still relatively young. He hasn't even reached where a lot of us would consider as the prime of their career. So I understand the value isn't great based off of what he's done, but I think if you're the Miami Heat, what you have to sell with Tyler Hero is upside potential. Like, that's all you can say.
And some of the reasons why the market hasn't been as hot for DeMar DeRozan. We looked into it the other day. His defensive statistics are very poor.
Are they?
When he's guarding the ball. Yes, he has not been a very strong defensive player. Yeah. He also does not shoot a lot of threes or take a lot of threes.
Correct.
Does not make a lot of threes.
Which is, if you're the Miami Heat, you want more of that.
Yeah, he's a mid-range guy.
Yeah.
He could score 24 points, but
for sure,
his game is being physical, mid-range, getting to the basket, getting fouled, which sounds a lot like another player on the Heat's game.
Absolutely.
So you got DeMar DeRozan and Jimmy Butler trying to fill up all the mid-range, and we're going to most likely have to lose a three-point shooter in that. And we know where the league is going right now with three-point shooting. It's become, the golden standard. It's what you need.
No matter what you do, at the end of the day, if you have a team on the other side that successfully shoots the three, they're in every game. If you look at the Celtics, who just won the championship, there's a lot of ways that they did it, of course, but they lived and died by that three. And you saw the only game that the Miami Heat were able to take from the Celtics, one of the only games that was taken from the Celtics during their championship run, included a record amount of threes. Are you going to be able to accomplish that when you bring in DeMar?
So are we willing to bring in DeMar DeRozan, who has a very similar game to Jimmy Butler and does not expand the court as much?
Yeah.
And lose a three-point shooter. Are you going to say, well, maybe Kel'el Ware, he'll be a starter and Bam will start shooting more threes? I don't know if that's your best option either. So
now we're like, I hope that happens.
So now it's looking like Tyler Hero over the past couple of years has been devalued, and now DeMar DeRozan's been devalued. So Chicago, can we make some deal where we both give our devalued players to each other?
Make a little something happen. I think it works. Another name that was thrown out there that I think a lot of people were interested in, especially Tobin with his Trail5 hashtag, is Trae Young. And I think, I know we're focused on DeMar DeRozan, but just to bring up that option for a second, that to me,
that makes more sense.
I understand his defense is what his defense is, but that fills the void of having a ball handler, a scorer, and a three-point shooter.
Right.
And, that to me seems like the better option, but it's just a matter of when we've gotten to this point, now we're looking at options that aren't as easy as, whatever the ones that are already off the board were. Now we're like, hopefully we can work something out with Atlanta, or maybe we can work something out with Chicago. And it's kind of like, without really saying it, unless the Miami Heat pull off a move that absolutely no one is forecasting,
right?
Free agency is done for the Miami Heat, and the best thing that they can possibly acquire would be a DeMar DeRozan.
Yes.
And it just seems like the writing is on the wall, and no Heat fan really wants to admit.
Go ahead and say it. This is it. It's going to be just like last year. We have no options but to basically bring back the same team.
Run it back seems to be the option, unfortunately.
But as Pat Riley said, be healthy and play games.
That's great. You know what, Dan?
Look,
be healthy all the time.
Jimmy Butler's out at the Miami Grand Prix saying, if I were healthy, Celtics wouldn't be doing nothing.
Yeah.
Knicks wouldn't be doing nothing. Okay, now it's time to prove it. But as a fan base, that doesn't help you sleep good at night because you have to stay healthy in a world that seems to be increasingly injury prone.
Yeah.
And number two, you got to play more games. Okay, well, that kind of goes along with health. We know what this team has done the past 2 seasons, which has been play-in games, also made an NBA Finals, but then was happened again. So I'm telling you right now, you're not going to see a drastically different team starting the next season for the NBA. But we're going to rely on health and playing more.
True or false, Tyler Hero is going to be on this roster come opening day?
Yeah.
True. Wow, you're saying he's not going anywhere.
I don't think there's going to be drastic changes. And, never count out Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, those guys. But there's just, they're so handcuffed. And looking at it as a fan, you can say, they're going to find a way. When you look from the outside in, it's going to be really hard to get anybody of note. I know Alec Burks is a great player.
Oh, there we go, baby. Reloaded.
Well, that's what I did with the Florida Panthers in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. I looked at it from an outsider looking in.
Yeah.
Okay, they're the better team. They have home ice. They now have motivation to where if they lose, they're embarrassed. They want to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
If they get the first goal, it's over. And sure enough, that's how it went. No, I didn't expect Edmonton to score a goal 2 minutes later, but that's besides the point.
Still.
Besides the point.
Yeah.
But you got to look at it from the outside looking in, and there would be so much that the Heat would have to do to change things. And they're already under that first apron of overages. It's just. And like I said, DeMar DeRozan, does he fulfill a need? I mean, you do need more points better, but he doesn't give you something dynamic that you don't already have on the team.
I think the best fit for DeMar DeRozan on the Miami Heat is on the bench.
He scores 24 points a game.
Which is great. He can be a 24-point. I mean, we've had a 20-plus point performer off the bench with Tyler Hero's 6-man. And, you mentioned he's not necessarily the best on defense, and he is aging. It does allow him to stay a little bit fresher. And you know how Eric Spoelstra does it. Just because you start the game doesn't mean you play the most minutes. My thing that I have a problem with, and I know that GMs and front offices will have a problem with this, do you acquire this man for whatever the cost is in order for him to come off your bench?
Right.
That's just the thing that I don't think teams are comfortable doing.
Yeah, that's a high cost for a sixth man probably because he's going to demand a lot. But his stock seems to be dropping a little bit for the reasons we've talked about: his defense, his mid-range, not shooting a lot of threes, his age.
Absolutely.
That's all the stuff you pitch when you're trying to get a good deal for DeMar DeRozan.
For sure.
They're gonna say 24 points a game. They're gonna say all this. You're gonna be like, anybody can score 24 points a game, right?
No, I've seen it. It is actually not as easy.
You didn't have anybody on the team that had 24 points a game last year.
We totally did not.
Okay, no, we'll see. We'll continue to talk about it until we can't talk about it anymore. But
absolutely,
we're gonna get the next hour started, get some headlines. But Marcos, you had some fireworks this past 4th of July.
Oh yes,
you went to a party.
I went to a couple parties. I got to see our boy Leroy. I had myself an eventful. I would say I probably had one of the best July 4ths I've ever had in my life.
Well, I want to hear about this Leroy party. That's next here on Tobin and Leroy 560 WQAM.
Our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Valoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tonga Valoa. Dolphins quarterback. Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Our Tua of the program. Needless to say, didn't get that deal yesterday. It was July 4th, so Tua yet to sign an extension. That would have been weird news on a July 4th if they were in the back of a bar smoking, figuring out the contract details for Tua. That would be very interesting. But no,
sorting out the deets.
4th of July yesterday. It was a 4th of July. And Marcos, you were out and about. It's for family. It's for friends. It's for baseball. It's for beer. It's for bikinis. It's for, and you had it all. You had it all. So kind of tell us what your 4th of July journey was yesterday.
Indeed. I'm going to give you a bit of a backstory here, Dan, if that's okay, if you have time. Are you busy? Are you doing anything right now?
I'm here for a while.
Okay, cool. You'll be here for a little bit. So I had an opportunity last week to do something I hadn't done probably in my adult life, right? Every year I talk about how I want to purchase a lot of fireworks, but I'm either usually busy on July 4th or the finances just aren't where they need to be, where I feel comfortable spending.
Yeah, because fireworks aren't what they used to be. Where you go buy a packet of black cats or some jumping jacks and spend like $2. No, fireworks are for real now.
Let me ask you, Dan. Let me go ahead and let's play a game of Price is Right if possible. How much do you think your average cost of sparklers are? And I'm talking sparklers. I'm talking the three boxes, normal standard size, not the big ones, just your normal standard. Look, I have sparklers here. You give it to a little kid. Totally. How much do you think that costs
for the just normal
3-pack of sparklers, 3 boxes of sparklers? There's some in there. You know, they usually come in a 3-pack, the red, white, and blue, whatever.
I'm gonna make sense, and it's gonna be totally wrong, but $5.
$5, and you know, even then, initially, I'm like, nah, that's they probably got sparklers for $2.99.
It's just gunpowder and a stick.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm gonna ask you another one. Now you know those poppets, the ones that you throw them on the ground.
Yeah, those are awesome. You throw at your brothers and sisters' feet and everything.
For sure. How much do you think those cost per box?
Just one of the little boxes.
Just one of the little boxes.
I would think you could get 3 for $1.
Yeah, right. Those are great prices, Dan. I love those prices.
I'm still living in 1981.
Well, let me tell you the truth, Dan. Let me break it to you, buddy. Those poppets, for 1 box of those poppets, $2.99.
God.
Now they say buy one get one, so it makes you feel a little bit better, and you're getting it for like $150 each. But we're talking 1 box of those things. You accidentally open them a wrong way, they all pop out on the ground. There goes $1.50.
Do they still have the sawdust in there?
They do still have the sawdust. Nice. That's my favorite part. But yeah, now when it comes to the sparklers that I was telling you about,
$25,
$17.99 for your standard 3 box of sparklers. And sure, buy one get one, so you get 6 boxes of sparklers. No, dude, it's still $20 for sparklers.
Yeah,
you're not fooling anyone.
And I know those martyrs and stuff like that, they're easily like $100 for the package.
This is what I ended up doing last week as the show was going on. I'm watching videos of fireworks. I'm doing my research here. I'm on TNTfireworks.com, and every commercial break, Leroy comes in here and notices that I'm watching these fireworks. Leroy almost burned his house down as a child. So he was playing fireman. He was being very crazy. But nonetheless, that left him with some childhood trauma that prevented him from ever purchasing fireworks and being able to celebrate them. Once he saw me reviewing these videos, the entire commercial break, he decided enough is enough, And that same day, went to the TNT fireworks store and spent nearly $400.
Yeah, it's easy
on fireworks. So it's his first experience being able to do so, and me having again one of the better July 4th I've ever had, was also able to spend nearly $300 at the fireworks store as well, because I was ready to blow some stuff up, Dan. So it begins in the morning. I wake up, able to sleep in a little bit, hanging out. Leroy hits me. He calls my phone at 9 in the morning. He's excited, very, very clearly excited about what was about to go on. He tells me what's on the menu for his barbecue a little bit later. And then I receive a text from him a little bit later saying, hey, at around 4:30, we're going to kick off festivities. When do you like to start your July 4th festivities, Dan? Like, when is too early? When is too late? When's the perfect time for you?
Usually try to crack open my first beer around 10 a.m.
Yeah, well.
But the festivities, yeah, it's more of a 2-3 in the afternoon type thing.
The first beer at 10 a.m. is solid. I love that.
Have a day off.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. But so I'm sorry. And you said the start time for you is what, a good time for you to attend the barbecue? What time would that be?
I'd say, I mean, I'd prefer like we start around 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I feel that. And you know, I was thinking about it because Leroy previously, because he didn't have fireworks, was ready to start this bad boy off at like noon, 1 o'clock. He told me people would be there partying. But if you think about it, if these people are also going to be at your home for fireworks, you're going to have these people at your home from noon, 1 o'clock, all the way to like 10, 11.
Right.
That your time as a guest at my home expires after 8 hours.
Right.
Completely expires. The same way my time at a job expires after 8 hours, unless I'm obviously working a double. You can't be at my house all day. So anyway, Leroy switches it to about 4 o'clock. Brilliant move on his part. Now, I also have another thing to do with my family at around 6, 7 p.m. So him pushing it back, unfortunately, reduced the amount of time that I can go to Leroy's house. But I wasn't going to be denied the plate. The spread that was promised to me.
I'm sure it's great.
Jerk chicken, ribs, sausage, hot dogs, burgers, baked beans, mac and cheese. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, one of the best hot dogs I've ever had in my life.
Is Leroy doing most of the cooking, most of the grilling?
Leroy and his son Fonz did a lot of the cooking.
Nice.
Fonz did a lot of the sides in regards to the meat. Leroy was able to hook that up, and he bought some chili with like spicy sausage in it from a place called Proper Sausage. I have no idea what the hell that is, but it was amazing to say the least. But you know, I got into one of those points that could possibly get me into some trouble, Dan. Maybe you've been here as well. Got to a point with my family where they were taking too long to get ready, where if I waited for them to get ready, I wouldn't have been able to make it to Leroy's on time in order for me to enjoy it and go to, you know, the other family festivity that I had to do. So I was at a point where, do I leave my family for an hour and a half, or do I wait for them like the gentleman that I am?
No, you got to leave.
I left them, Dan. Left them in the dust.
Tell them business is business.
I'm out of here, dude. You can take your poopy little baby, and I'll see you in an hour.
Business is business.
So I had to do what I had to do, man. I headed over to Leroy's mansion. I was able to see Leroy in his element with his family, with his new puppy. Do you know he has a new puppy?
No, I did not know he had a new puppy.
Yeah, his daughter is fostering a puppy for community service hours, aka they got a new puppy. Dude.
They got a new dog.
They got a new dog. So I was able to see him, the new dog, and enjoy the food. And I have actual evidence right here of what I was able to consume, what was prepared for me gracefully by our boy Leroy Horde. We call this the dog from hell. Right now, what I'm about to show you is a mixture of chili, cheese, sausage, hot dog, ground beef, and toppings galore.
Sounds like a heart
right
attack.
here on our Twitch.
Goodness.
560 WQAM.
That is a lot
Check
of dog.
that bad boy out. Check that bad boy out. That right there gave me the meat sweats.
Yeah, it's like a lot of meat, but they still look to be a decent amount of bun there.
Decent amount of bun.
I'm sure it was dirty though.
You know what the problem is though? The bun, it's very weak in the middle. Very weak. So if you add a lot of chili or anything that's soft, it rips right through.
That's the problem with hot dogs and tacos and stuff. You know, you
Yeah.
want a big fat taco, a big hot dog,
I
but like
know.
it doesn't contain to itself. It starts,
just rips right through, man.
yeah, and it gets on your hands and
Yeah.
face and everything. So like I try to keep my hot dogs and my tacos and stuff to a minimal size. Therefore, it's not all over the place.
Yeah. And this is a good first date material in regards to, not that I was on a first date, but this is just, you don't want to eat one of these on the first date.
If you go to a restaurant and you love the dog from hell and they have it and you're on a first date or even a second date, you just don't order that. Just don't order that.
Yeah, it's just better if you don't.
But yeah, Leroy's told me about his legendary parties. He says 4th of July is always crazy and fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. We had family in the pool, family my favorite part actually, which I thought was interesting, was after we took a shot outside, we had some food, we're hanging out with all the young people, the young whippersnappers. Mm-hmm. Leroy kind of disappears for a second. I end up finding him and chilling with him as we end up watching Castle for 30 minutes. Just hanging out on the inside on the couch. He had a blanket on him as he normally does with his puppy on his lap. And we sat and we watched Castle for 30 minutes.
It's an odd choice on the 4th of July.
Very strange. Very strange. But that was my experience with Leroy. But that wasn't where my experience ended. Following that, I was able to finally pick my fiance and baby up. We went to Margate where we enjoyed a fireworks show. At a park that had food trucks, which I had front row seats for. A little scared. Some of the ashes from the fireworks were falling on me, making me think maybe I was too close. But my baby didn't have any issues. He wasn't complaining or crying about anything. He seemed to enjoy the entire experience. And then the night was capped off at my in-laws' home, just watching some more fireworks from the neighborhood and lighting my own.
I thought you said you were going to say watching some more Castle. Like,
yes, I just really had to enjoy my daily dose of Castle, but it was a good experience overall. The fireworks at the park were good, and then the ones that I bought were pretty good too. I had an opportunity, as you can see, everyone's stereotypical video of fireworks here. It was a beautiful display. It was a great night. I had a great time for my July 4th, and I couldn't ask for anything more. Did you have anything? I know you had a lot on your agenda. Were you able to accomplish it? Did things get kind of swayed? What happened for your July 4th?
Yeah, just a lot of things went wrong. So the only exciting thing I did was around 9:00, decided to go to Cafe Prima Pasta. Now, if you know Prima Pasta, that's where Lionel Messi, when he first moved to Miami, he visited. It's an Argentinian Italian restaurant in my neighborhood, like a block away. Nice. I realized as I'm walking there, I was like, oh crap, it's 9:00 and Argentina's playing Ecuador. We're not going to be able to get into the place. It's going to be packed.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been more wrong. Place was half empty. So I got to sit down, watch a little bit of fireworks, watch the Argentina-Ecuador game, eat some Italian food, and just kind of relax. So that was really the depth of my 4th of July. So
nice. What time was this that you went
9:00 at night.
9:00 at night. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, you went to a pasta place at 9 a.m.?
9 p.m. Yeah. I like to get started early. I told you, man. Crack some beers open.
You and Stanley were there.
Eat some real rich Italian food in the morning. That is one thing that's hard to put down in the AM hours is Italian food.
Oh, yeah.
It's great to put down in the PM hours, but in the AM hours,
if you have a fettuccine Alfredo before noon, I'm judging you. For sure, I'm judging you.
I mean, if you're having a bolognese or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's a lot on the heart.
Yeah, just having a little lasagna for breakfast. You know the usual.
Yeah. Let's get to the headlines real quick. They're brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
The Heat have signed veteran Knicks shooting guard Alec Burks.
Buckets.
Deal is said for 1 year. I don't know if it's going to be that many buckets, but
buckets.
We'll see. From your mouth to God's ears.
We're bolstering the bench.
We are. The Marlins lost in the 12th inning yesterday, 6-5 to the Red Sox. The Fish look to end a 4-game skid against Major League Baseball's worst White Sox tonight at 7:10. Brian Hoeing gets the start for the Fish. You know, Marcos,
yes,
you're usually, most of the time, you're all about an extra inning game. You know,
yeah.
Spend a little extra time at the ballpark, have a good time. On July 4th, I don't want an extra inning game.
Come on, we got to wrap it up, dude. You know what I have to do.
Look, I want to go to the ballpark on July 4th. I don't want to spend extra time at the ballpark on July 4th. Sure. I got a lot, like you, probably had a lot of things to do. I know the game was early at 1:00. So you're probably like, cool. And baseball games have done a great job of streamlining.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That pitch clock.
Yeah. So you're looking at 2.5 hours. Let's say 2.5 hours at the most. So you're figuring 3:30. get home by 4:30. We'll have the whole evening.
Yeah.
You throw an extra 30, 45 an hour onto it. It's like,
Yeah.
that really throws some things off.
Then traffic, everything else, getting out of the stadium gets delayed. Because, everyone's going to wait at this point. No one's going to be like, I'm out of here. Inning 10. You waited this long. You're going to see the conclusion of the game.
Yeah, that's the things I never understood. But people would do that. Like, they'll get to the 11th and, all right, we're leaving. I'm like, you've already made it this far.
You waited this long, dude.
I did that one time at a Saints game.
Yeah.
The Saints got the ball with like 50 seconds left. They had to go like 40 yards to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
And people started leaving. And I was like, why are you leaving? Like, we got to beat traffic. I'm like, but the whole point to beat the game is to see how it culminates.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Saints ended up winning on a field goal. Those people are in their cars. Like,
yeah, exactly. Good luck celebrating that in the line to get out.
Yeah, and you probably don't beat that much traffic, to be honest with you.
It's 40 seconds, dude. You're not leaving in the middle of the third. Come on.
Yeah, so, nonetheless. So, told you I went and watched the Argentina-Ecuador game. No
Yes,
Messi.
indeed.
Well, Messi did play, missed a penalty kick.
Missed the penalty.
A lot of people are saying, what's up with Messi?
Yeah.
He's not playing with Inter Miami, and they keep winning.
Yep.
He's not really playing good for Argentina, and they
Yeah.
keep winning. Some people are saying the MLS has made Messi soft.
Wow.
That's what some people are saying.
I mean, of course, that'd be easy to point to, but, we also have an undefeated opponent for Messi, and that's Father Time, dude.
Yeah.
At a certain point, Messi's not going to be Messi, and Messi has been outperforming his body, if I had to be honest, for his entire career. There's a lot of miles on those little legs.
You have to understand that Lionel Messi has basically been playing soccer around the calendar since he was 15 years old. He is 34, 35. So for 20 years straight,
20 years.
There's not a lot of breaks, especially when you're on a big-time international, or when I say international, a big-time club like FC Barcelona for the longest. Between club and country.
He's 37.
Okay, he's 37. So for over 20 years.
Yeah.
They never stop because they're always playing in Premier League. I'm not Premier League. Champions League.
Yeah.
They're always playing in different, La Liga. They're
something
for different cups. They're playing internationals. They're doing all this stuff. Then he's got Argentina, whether it be the Copa, whether it be World Cup, whether it be the Olympics. It's been a long time, but he and both Suarez have really outplayed what was expected of them. They've been absolutely fantastic, but I think Messi's got the hamstring problems, but it doesn't seem to be a problem, although they got by very luckily last night. We'll see what happens in that. The Copa America does continue tonight. Venezuela versus Canada. That is at 9:00. The Euros, huge in just a little bit. Noon, Germany and Spain, two of the favorites. And then at 3, France and Portugal. Which Cristiano Ronaldo will show up? Ooh, we'll have to wait and see. We always know Kylian Mbappe shows up, so that's not a big. But Cristiano Ronaldo, last game, he almost cost his team. Missing some gimmies. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
The Heat Summer League. It begins tomorrow, 6:30 versus Golden State in San Francisco. Championship was just raised by the Boston Celtics, and now we've got Summer League.
Look at that. So quick.
Yeah. Bronny James, the big name, of course, in the Summer League. He's going to get his first taste of Summer League. I can't say first start of Summer League because I can't promise you if he's going to start or not.
I did hear a lot of reports saying that he'd spent a majority of the year with the G League affiliate. And I'm like, $7 million for a G League guy. That's interesting.
Yeah. So he's basically going to make $2 million a year.
Yeah.
I like that, though. LeBron gets his deal.
Yep.
2 years, $104 million. Bronny gets a deal, basically 4 years, $8 million.
Yeah. So not necessarily your dad's numbers yet, but
yeah,
it's still an NBA contract.
So what I think they're probably going to do, and this is just me thinking out loud, is what they're going to do with Bronny James is he's going to be back and forth between the G League and 10-day contracts in the NBA, and they're going to try to get him on the court as much as they can with LeBron James. What throws a real kink into things is what if LeBron James gets hurt for the season?
Ooh.
Does Bronny James get called up, or is it just,
that'd be interesting.
You need some seasoning. Part of the deal is you play with your father, even though, you quote unquote earned it. And, like.
What bodes What bodes better for his career? The Lakers doing well or the Lakers doing bad? Like
for
what
his career?
What gives him a better chance of playing or being called up? them doing so well, hey, LeBron and them can maybe take some nights off, or we can kind of coast? Or is it the team sucks, we need more talent? Like, what is better for Bronny's career? The Lakers doing good or the Lakers doing bad?
That's a good question. I'm going to say the Lakers doing good because they can justify picking him and everything that's going on. And like I said, they could build some capital and have a couple games here and there. They can take some risks. If the team's really bad, yeah, you can get in there and start playing, but you're probably part of the reason why the team is bad. So I would go with that one.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think there's positive and negatives to both sides of that. But I think he has a better chance of playing, like you said, if the team is doing well. Let's say they go and they have a point where they're like 30-9 or something like that. And it's like, let's go ahead and call up Bronny, because you call up Bronny and in the same way Tim Tebow did, or the same way a lot of these other players who didn't necessarily find that long-term success, that guy's going to sell jerseys, dude. He's going to sell tickets. He's going to put butts in seats. And we all know at the end of the day how often people say sports is a business. It's a business. It's a business. So if he's going to bring millions of dollars simply by me putting him on the court, then yeah, I'm going to have to put him on the court a couple times. And I'm going to feel more comfortable if my team is, 30-9 as opposed to 9-30.
Right. And you can also make the excuse of why he spent so much time in the G League saying, we have just such a good team. There's just not room. Exactly. We got a couple of guys on the G League team that we'd like to bring up. We just don't have the time, including Bronny. So it kind of gives you an out there too. But yeah, I think them being better is going to help him be better. But
you know what? I got a quick question though. At the same time, seeing the other side, I just thought of something. If the team is doing bad, for example, they're 9-30. From a business standpoint, it may be like, hey, let's bring Bronny up to sell some tickets, get some butts in the seats, get some excitement around the ball club. Maybe that's something that he's used more as like a tool in that sense. Like, for example, t-shirt time at a basketball game. Things aren't necessarily going well. It's time to drop the t-shirts.
Everybody wants a free t-shirt.
Is it the same thing? Like, things aren't looking so well. It's time to drop the Bronny.
Well, that's one of the other reasons why one of the many reasons why I thought it was a good draft pick, because the financial reasons of it. And whether you like to believe it or not, teams are worried about the bottom line and not just about winning championships. As much as we want them to be all championships all the time, that's the only thing you should care about. No, it's actually, there's a financial side to it. It brings interest. It brings eyes. It sells jerseys. Yeah. I don't know. That being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. Social media is going crazy over a bikini that is inspired by civil rights leader Rosa Parks.
Damn, I saw this. I saw the story in the headlines and I had to do more research on it.
How does that happen?
What are we even doing here? I saw it was a design. I can't remember the name of the company, but I did see that. I don't even think it made it to anyone's body yet. But I saw that it was like a sketch design that was inspired by Rosa Parks. I don't understand the crossover there.
Legendary,
The crossover I didn't know I needed.
Yeah, hush that buzz. I don't know. But yeah.
Interesting. I can understand why the internet is up in arms about that. Let's keep bikinis and our historical figures away from each other.
Yeah. I don't need a Napoleon
like
man thong.
Exactly.
Too much.
Speedo of some sort.
Dolphins are eating good. Does that equal wins though? We'll discuss that next here on the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM.
This hour of Tobin
NFL players are eating good nowadays. It's looking like more and more organizations are trying to combine food favorites with nutrition. Get this ESPN article. Sarah Barshop writes, in June, after a minicamp practice in the smoldering Florida heat, Miami Dolphins defensive tackle Zach Sealer and his teammates received welcome news. Practice the following day was canceled. But for Sealer, the good news wouldn't end there. As the 6-year veteran finished answering questions from the media, a Dolphins team staffer mentioned gyros or heroes. Or what are we going to call it? Heroes or gyros?
This is rough. So we're against gyro then.
Yeah.
Hero. No, because hero is a hoagie. Gyro.
Gyro were being served for lunch. One of Sealer's favorites. It's gyro day today? He asked with a wide grin on his face. Let's go. So the Dolphins have gyro day.
So as opposed to, your normal rice, vegetables, or like chicken patties, something like that. Now we and that only makes sense. I noticed recently that technology advances in more ways than I had previously thought. When you say technology advances, you think robots and AI and stuff like that, but also just the technology of how things work, the medicine industry and even small things like the fast food industry or bro, you seen these Stanley Cups that are around, and I'm not talking about the Florida Panthers Stanley Cup. I'm talking about these damn cups that just keep your ice cold for an extended period of time, like these thermoses or whatever. That essentially is a technology of a cup. Initially we had a cup, right? It would hold your liquid. And then we had cups that look nice, were the fancy cups and stuff like that. Now we've gotten to the point where this cup will not only make or hold your ice for 24 hours, it also has a convenient metal straw that's recyclable and little trinkets that you can add to it and grip and so on and so forth. So it just makes sense as everything continues to arise. The way and the nutrition that is provided at these facilities also advances.
Yeah,
so,
food science is advancing so much. I'm guessing you get enough protein in your gyro that you'll be good. I'm trying to think what I would want.
Tzatziki sauce.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like that. And does it make a difference? To me, it does make a difference because you see guys like Zach Sealer being like, whoa. And, if you're happy, you're feeling good. If you're staying nutrition, that's great. And, you're keeping your guys away from a lot of other teams have said. I've been at some teams where the food is absolute, like the Los Angeles Rams, Steve Avila. Yeah. He says the food is so terrible, players won't eat it. They'll go to McDonald's or something, which of course you want to keep your players away from.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That nutrition, you don't even realize that you're on a diet based off of if it's truly something that you like. You know what I'd want?
I was going to say, what do you want?
Chipotle.
You want Chipotle?
Yeah, if you can have Chipotle,
you get beans, rice,
some chicken, protein, or whatever. You can add steak. You can have whatever shredded meat you'd like. You give me some sort of Chipotle, I can do that every day, dude. I can definitely do that every day.
Yeah, I'm always a big pasta guy. I like the lasagnas. I like the pastas. I would think that would be something that could be on the training table. And, if you need a protein, I don't know, throw some type of either chicken or bolognese sauce into the mix, stuff like that. I'm trying to think of some more unique things that you could still get going
that are beneficial to my my output. See that's where it gets hard because I can think of all the things that I would want there from like a damn that's delicious kind of perspective, but now what's going to transfer over into my on the field performance? Not too many of those things. I don't anticipate the Dairy Queen Butterfinger Blizzard that I would request. The machine, I would like a machine, by the way, at any point, 24 hours, almost like a cruise ship. I can go over there and just pull the lever and have Dairy Queen Butterfinger Blizzards come out. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't help my on the field performance though.
Would not help your on the field performance. What is like one of the worst things you've eaten most recently? Like that you're just like, that's disgusting.
So people constantly try to get me to eat seafood. They know it's something that I'm not necessarily a fan of. I'm also not a child, so I'm not going to be here and be like, ew, that's icky. I'm going to give it a shot. I always try to give it a shot. But recently, I had an opportunity to try what someone referred to as the best calamari they've ever had. It doesn't even taste like seafood. It doesn't even taste like it. Totally did, dude. It totally did. I had a piece of the breading kind of fall off, so the squid inside kind of came out like an onion ring from Burger King. And it was gross, dude. The texture of it, the idea of it, the smell of it, the taste of it, just the remnants of it just stays on my tongue. Now, some people love calamari. I know a lot of people who do. But this one was very squid-like, very fish-like, and not necessarily a fan of that. But, it's, I guess, not as bad as it could have been. Anything for you?
I guess the most unhealthy thing that I've had, of course, is whenever we have donuts here at work, I eat those. So those aren't healthy.
We're a bad influence on you, I know for sure.
Not terrible, though.
Every time there's something like Leroy comes in and he orders something, or maybe there's something in the front there. Normally, you probably would have had a good day, but now you're coming. Although recently they left grapes. I'll give them credit for that.
Yeah, well, that's the weirdest thing. There's Los Angeles Lakers grapes.
Los Angeles Laker grapes. That was strange. Yeah, that was strange.
There was a head of lettuce out there the other day, too. They said, be our guest, take the head of lettuce.
Where is this even coming from? Is someone just emptying their fridge? I gotta get rid of this.
So 2024 NFLPA report cards for nutrition/dietitians. At the top, Minnesota Vikings and Miami Dolphins.
Oh, nice.
All the Dolphins players, even Durham Smythe, saying the food here is pretty darn good. Stephen Ross says, I try not to take it for granted. I try to give our players good food that they could enjoy and that could still be healthy and beneficial to them.
Damn.
Houston Texans get an A-. Atlanta Falcons get an A-. Las Vegas Raiders get an A-. Now, the bottom of the list.
Yeah, let's say, who's at the bottom of that?
Well, you got to figure Arizona Cardinals. Buffalo Bills.
Hold on. You've been to Buffalo by any chance?
Never been to Buffalo.
So I've been to Arizona.
Well, yeah, I've been to Arizona.
And I've been to a couple cities in Arizona. And I have not had great food, dude.
Okay.
The people are amazing. The cities are beautiful. There's many benefits to living in that area.
Oh, yeah.
One of them to me was not the culinary experience. I definitely had to order. I was in Flagstaff, Arizona that night. We had went to a local restaurant. It wasn't great. Ended up having to order Little Caesars.
Ooh, that's a tough night when you have to go, when you've already spent so much that you got to get the $5 hot and ready.
When you're like, I need to upgrade my dining experience, let me get Little Caesars. That's not a good time.
Man,
not a good time.
Buffalo a D+, Pittsburgh a D, and Kansas City comes in with an F, but Cincinnati F-.
So the F- is crazy, and we must address that. But let me just address the Kansas City Chiefs. I've heard so many horrible things about their facilities,
about the way they treat their players,
just everything. They get negatively rated on everything, and they're still out here collecting championships.
They're always at the bottom of the list for everything.
And I just don't understand how the hell is that possible that they still manage to win these championships.
Kind of wonder. The Dolphins are at the top of the list of everything.
And we freaking lose.
We're trying to win a playoff game.
Can't even win a playoff
Kansas City, facility-wise.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Ownership-wise, food-wise.
Anytime the players are asked to take a survey about the Kansas City area or anything in regards to that team, it's always poorly scored, and yet somehow they manage to be the top NFL power rankings.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not somehow. There's a big reason why. A couple big reasons
huge
why.
Reason why, yeah.
I'd say four of them: Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones, and Andy Reid. That's essentially the formula that you need for a championship. Not Gyro Day.
Oh, I love some Gyro Day, though.
Can't stand that word, dude. Gyro, GIF.
Well, that's the problem. It polarizes so many people. Like some people think it's heroes. So hero, gyro. You know what we mean.
You know what we mean.
You know what we mean. But yeah, that's the thing. Like I wanted to visit Kansas City one time just because it's off the beaten path and it'd be going somewhere that most people haven't been. Yeah. And then I saw all these negative reviews from the football team and from other people. And then Channing Crowder was there one time and was like, seriously, there is nothing to do here but eat barbecue. He's like, I was even at a barbecue place being like, okay, well, what else is there to do? Like, they gave me a suggestion of 3 other barbecue places. He said, okay, I've done barbecue. I want to do something else. They're like, yeah, but you should still get some more barbecue. He's like, well, name something else. They couldn't. And I was like, okay, I'm done with that. I'm done.
That's fair. That's definitely fair, man. Those are those places, like a Green Bay, Wisconsin or something like that have the diehard football teams because what the hell else is there to do?
That's it. The NFLPA report cards for just a simple food and cafeteria. Miami Dolphins top of the list with an A. So really probably up there. Philadelphia Eagles with an A. San Francisco 49ers A-. Houston Texans apparently doing some good things, A-, and Las Vegas Raiders, B+. Well, I mean, Las Vegas, you can just go to the buffets and the casinos and just
Go
What-
during the week though; it's cheaper.
Yeah. What's your choice of buffet at a casino? Is it breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Damn. Hey, now that's a good question. What's interesting is when I'm at home, you can't catch me eating breakfast.
Right.
Not
On
gonna eat
vacation,
breakfast.
man.
But on vacation, though, the opportunity to go and pick out a waffle or a pancake and, at my pleasure with toppings at my pleasure, that's not something that I usually experience. So whether I'm at a casino or on a cruise ship, or most recently, I took a Mexican vacation at an all-inclusive. And some of the best meals that I had were honestly for breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Can I tell you where they lack, though? Lunch. I always feel like I get the like a lack, like, oh, here's some chicken tenders and like cheeseburgers for lunch. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, because what happens is you force yourself to get up at an all-inclusive so you can get that
Yeah.
breakfast buffet.
For sure.
So I guess you load up on the breakfast buffet and you still want to eat dinner. So lunch is kind of like a forgotten about meal.
It really is. It seems like that too. The cruise ships are kind of like, we'll have some chicken tenders and burgers. And then whenever you go to any of the all-inclusives, I went to a Mexican all-inclusive recently in Cancun. And when I tell you, it was so hard for me to get a damn taco. Like, I'm in Mexico. Can I get a taco, please? They had Chinese night, Caribbean night. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here?
We're in Mexico.
I want a taco.
What was the unlimited beer? Was it Mexican beers or was it?
No, it was whatever you wanted. I mean, so the options, obviously, they had all Mexican options, but they also had Modelo available. But I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was mainly on the liquor and the alcohol. But tell me if you agree with this. They didn't start selling alcohol until 11 a.m.
Yeah,
and then they didn't, and then they ended alcohol sales at 10:30 p.m.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was just a specific rule for the hotel that I happen to be in. I guess it was more family oriented or something like that. But 11 a.m., I could have been drunk already by 11 a.m.
Well, that's usually the move. Most all-inclusives don't start selling or giving away booze until 10 a.m. But if you go to the breakfast buffet, you can get mimosas and
see, that's what I was thinking too. No, this stupid place was just like, we want families. And I'm like, you know what? I understand I'm here with my family, so it totally makes sense. That's why I'd be here. But you let me get drunk when I want to get drunk.
That's another thing. Yeah. Did you have beers in the refrigerator in the room?
So they gave us, access to a mini fridge, and they were kind enough to give us a complimentary bottle of tequila.
Oh,
but I'm not sure if is tequila a 9 a.m. thing? I mean, I've done it. Don't get me wrong necessarily, but
fine.
I was looking for more like some champagne.
It gets you on the downward slope really quick.
Oh man, yeah, it does. Tequila in Mexico.
Wow. That's solid though.
Good stuff.
That's solid.
Yeah.
Gonna talk a little Kel'el Ware next here on the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM.
Got what you
Check it out now.
Tomorrow, 6:30, we'll get our first look at rookie first-round pick Kel'el Ware. Also, second-round pick Pelle Larson.
Yes, Pella Larson.
Is it Pella?
It is Pella, which is strange because
Pella.
it's not. It's what is it like? Pelle?
Yep.
Yeah, but somehow it's Pella.
Pelle Larson.
Yeah.
Exciting. Once again, I told you we got to be a little not so gung-ho on Kel'el Ware just yet. He is only 2 years of college basketball, 1 year with Oregon, 1 year with Indiana.
Yep.
He's 7 foot. As we know, there is a learning curve in the NBA from college basketball, but in Summer League, we hope he gets off to a good start. We do know a few, I don't know if you'd say things about Kel'el Ware, but we do know some basics about him. He is what you call a 3-and-D center. So he had a lot of threes and a lot of dunks. He was very good at defense. He had 2 blocks a game, averaged 2 blocks a game for Indiana University last year, and he was first team Big Ten all defense.
Wow.
So it makes you wonder, what do you expect? What do you want? First of all, what do you want realistically from Kel'el Ware in this summer league?
So I think the step that, a lot of people take or have problems taking when they transition from college basketball to NBA basketball is defensively. The game is quicker, the bodies are bigger, the guys are stronger. That just is what it is. We've seen it with a lot of our players. Nikola Jovic struggled to find time on the court. Sometimes Duncan Robinson did as well. And the way you combat that is by being an overwhelmingly good offensive scorer, which is why sometimes you'll see certain rookies still. It also depends on the situation the team is in. What I think Kel'el Ware progresses at, or excels at, I should say, is his defensive prowess. And I think that's going to be able to find him time on the court. Not only does he have the ability with his height to deter a shot, he has the shot blocking ability, which is also timing and vertical. And those are two things that he's exhibited already. And that translates. Height, defensive timing, and vertical ability translate from college to the pros. So if you're asking me what I want from him, it's not an increasingly, like an increased or workload on the offensive side. It's what I want him to be able to hold down defensively and rebounding that center position, because that's going to open up Bam Adebayo. What I want from him is not necessarily this unicorn of a season to the point where people are going to be speaking his name for Rookie of the Year. Essentially, what I want him to be is a serviceable center so that he can open up what I think could be a career year for Bam Adebayo. Yeah,
I'm right there with you. This is what I feel about Kel'el Ware. Be who you are. If you do what you did in the NBA, what you did in college, and I'm not saying the exact same numbers or everything like that. I'm not looking for you to improve your game yet. That'll come with time. They say he has no mid-range. Yeah. I'm okay with that. If he can be what he was in college for the Heat, which is a 3-and-dunks guy, a 3-and-D guy, he can go out, make 1 or 2 3-pointers a game, play some defense, get some blocks, and then be the number 5 and let Bam Adebayo go do his own thing. I'm 100% happy with that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not looking for him to improve his game yet. Now, with time, of course, that will improve. Of course. But if all he does is dunks and threes, I'm okay with that.
I'm really okay with that.
I'm really okay with that. And then, he goes down there and plays D against the center of the other team. It's like,
yeah, for sure.
Okay, if he ends up being what he is, that especially this rookie year, I'm totally fine with that. If he shoots a decent high percentage of 3-pointers in summer league and gets some good thunderous dunks and some good blocks, once again, I'm happy with that. No, I don't know. I don't think he's going to have his college numbers of 16, 10, and 2 blocks a game. Yeah. But, if he can come in there and 7, 8 points a game, 6 rebounds a game.
I need a little bit more.
A block?
Give me 7.
7 rebounds a game, 8, 7, and 1.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. And with the defense that he's going to be taking up on the number 5, so Bam Adebayo doesn't have to expend that much energy. It also opens up Bam to kind of move around. You already have the mid-range game, as we've talked about earlier, in Bam and Jimmy Butler. So that Kel'el Ware doesn't play that much of a mid-range game or doesn't have that much of a mid-range game, that's okay right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, defensively, what I want is the Jonas Valanciunases of the world or the Al Horfords of the
Yeah.
world. Those guys that are gonna occupy that center position, but not necessarily be the star player. That's where Bam Adebayo is spending his energy currently.
Mhm.
He's dealing with those big bodies because he's the biggest body on the court, when in actuality, he should be sticking the team's best player, or he should be moving around. Kel'el Ware being able to pick up that assignment frees open Bam Adebayo, and I think defensively, that allows you to go after a Trae Young or go after someone who may not be offense or defensively talented, because you have that backup now that you previously didn't. From an offensive standpoint, we haven't seen much of Chris Bosh, so I know there's not going to be a chance for him to work with Chris Bosh. But if we had an opportunity to get him in here so he can kind of fill that role that Chris Bosh developed into. When Bosh came over, he wasn't a three-point shooter. But when he did begin to develop that three-point shot, the Miami Heat were willing to offer Chris Bosh the keys to the franchise before they were willing to give it to an aging Dwayne Wade at that point. They secured Chris Bosh's contract before that blood clot because they truly felt that he was going to be the future of what the Miami Heat can do. And that's because he was able to provide, like you said, that 3 and D from a center position.
Yeah. So Kel'el Ware, just do what you do, and hopefully it'll work out for
just do
everyone
what you
else.
do, baby.
Do what you do. I can't say Pele Larson what I know.
Yeah. Oh, what do you think of this
Arizona.
nickname? Tobin calls him the Swedish Swish.
Swedish Swish.
Pretty good.
Earn it. Just earn that nickname.
Yeah,
That's all we need.
absolutely.
They can get both first and second rounders on the team this year. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Do we have a second round last year? I can't even remember. I definitely know we made a splash with Jaime Jaquez, but I can't remember who we got in the second round. I got to do some research. If we even had a second rounder, I can't even remember.
Right.
Let's see. If we can hit on both of those, though, it seems like the franchise has gone from like F those picks to like, nah, we got this. We got this through the draft, apparently.
Might have to, with the money that, we're so tightly bound with.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So, yeah, we'll see, though. The Summer League will begin tomorrow. Of course, all eyes are on Bronny James. It's going to remain that way for a while. But the Heat against the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco, 6:30. I think in a week from now, they go to the Las Vegas, the big Summer League with all the teams that are going to be out there.
Oh, okay. So this one's not fake.
This is like a warm-up Summer League.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know when we're going to start covering the Summer League games, but we're not supposed to be covering them this weekend, possibly next weekend. So I'll let you know about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll keep posted on everything. We got a little something for you next hour. We got some start, bench, cut. And we're going to get you caught up with everything else happening in the sports world here on 560 WQAM.
The number one sports adjacent show in America.
I don't speak Portuguese. I can speak English.
We are just minutes away from getting the Euro Cup started. Spain, Germany. Heavyweight match right there.
Yeah, a couple years ago. Well, I can't say a couple years ago. It's actually been like 2 World Cups ago, I should say. Those were the 2 premier teams, man.
Yeah, there's still 2 favored teams. One of them, of course, will advance. One will not. Then you get France and Portugal at 3:00. And then tonight, Venezuela, who has been better than expected this Copa America, taking on Canada, who scored 1 goal.
1
in the group stage, but still advanced.
Dan, can you tell me what the hell happened with the United States? Because I've seen a lot of things like the refs, but then I've seen you can't blame the refs when you lose to Panama or something like that.
Yeah, that was it. They don't have the right mentality, to be honest.
So it's not a talent thing.
No, they're probably in a better place talent-wise than they've ever been. They have more players overseas now playing in, whether it be Premier League or Serie A in Italy or Bundesliga in Germany.
Bundesliga.
It's the mentality. The mentality that Argentina has is the mentality that you want. Argentina can.
What is our mentality exactly? Like, what do you
don't
mean?
Lose, don't lose, don't lose, don't lose, don't lose, don't lose. Do something stupid. Don't lose, do something stupid. Don't lose, don't lose. Argentina, you watch them and you're like, they're getting outplayed. They should not win this game. And Messi's playing terrible, and yet they find a way to win. Their goaltender goes off in the penalty kicks last night. You just have this confidence that teams like Argentina, Uruguay, France, maybe even like Germany and Spain, they have this mentality that we're going to win and we're going to find a way to win.
Gotcha.
We have the mentality of, are we really supposed to be here? Let's hopefully not lose.
But is it ego, or is it a bit of like softness, if you will?
Yeah, it's a little bit of that.
Okay, so it's not, you're mentioning it's not a talent thing. Is that something that could be fixed then by coaching, or do we just need to gut the roster?
No, I mean, it's easy to go after Greg Berhalter as the coach because he has really underperformed. He went away for a while, came back as our best option. I just don't think they have the right mentality. They don't have that winner's mentality. Very stupidly, they beat Bolivia 2-0. Some people are going to say it should be 4 or 5-0. You know what? You win 2-0. You're fine.
Yeah.
You go to Panama and you get an early goal called back on offsides. That could have meant something. You still get another early goal. Then Tim Weah decides to punch a Panamanian player twice in the back of the head.
Jesus.
So he punches him once, and the ref was like, stop that. Punches him again. You got to go in the 17th minute. So that now you're down a man. That's a
17th minute.
Stupid play.
Jesus.
They tie the game. They get a late goal, not finding ways to win. Then against Uruguay, this is where you can blame coaching. You tried to grind it out against a team that is historically known as one of the best grinders in the world.
Or something like that?
They grind more than anybody, and you chose to try to play their game and grind it with them. Of course, you lost 1-0, and you're out on your home turf. So I think it's mentality. I think it's coaching. I think it's style. I think it's a lot of things. Or maybe they don't have an identity.
I was going to say, it seems like you're saying throw the whole team away.
They just don't have an identity right now. They need to find their identity, what works best for them. And
because I did see that there was an outrage, if you will, in regards to the refs and what they were doing during the Uruguay game. This is actually Christian Pulisic, I think, after the game. This is what he had to say.
Yeah, there's a lot. I don't want to talk too much about the ref. It does get frustrating, but yeah, that's what this tournament is about. So
yeah, I cannot totally understand what VAR does with the offside. They have technology, and I mean, sometimes it looks like they're 100% onsides and they call them offsides. Sometimes they look 100% offsides and they're onsides. I don't know. I don't know how it works. And the refs, but Alejandro Moreno, who I like a lot for ESPN, he's a Venezuelan national, played all over the world. Now he's an analyst. He said this: fact of the matter is, Uruguay offsides or onsides. You take the goal away, you still don't score a goal. You still probably don't advance in the tournament.
No.
And he's like, and the problem is we've all agreed to these terms of the VAR. So no one team has an advantage. I do not understand the VAR. Christian Pulisic, I'm sure, very upset. One of the referees actually wouldn't shake his hand after the game. He was pretty pissed off about that.
I mean, I saw that he essentially was yelling at the referees that they should go celebrate Uruguay because it's like you've been calling all these calls for them. You might as well celebrate their victory together. So.
Right. And the fact of the matter is the soccer world does not want to see the United States become a major power.
That's another conspiracy theory that I hear thrown out there as well. So that's why I wanted to find out the validation of, like, is it the team not good enough? Is their mentality not good enough? Or is this like is this a theory to keep the USA out of the last sport that the international level runs? Although I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like the Japanese are definitely killing it in the baseball field.
Japanese doing good in baseball, yeah. But I think that it's just the team's not playing. And this is the thing, teams not playing up to potential. I'm not going to say the team's no good. They just don't play up to potential some of the times. They're very inconsistent. They'll have one really good game against a good team, and then they'll get murdered,
That's rough, man. That's rough, honestly, trying to figure out, because you don't even know, do I have a bad team? Do I have a good team? They kind of give you the hope that I feel like a Miami Dolphins fan has had this entire time, where it's like, you're not necessarily a horrible team. You're not the Cleveland Browns or something like that, but because you're just in that middling phase, it just gives you enough hope to keep watching, but never enough reward to feel like, oh, I have a good team.
Yeah, that's one of those things. When you have a really good team, of course, it's really easy to watch, and it's really, you gung-ho.
Yeah.
You have a really bad team, at least you can be like this. We don't expect to win anything, but I'm ride or die. You feel good about yourself. You're a part of the team. It's kind of easy. When you're in that kind of middling up and down, you got to kind of be like, oh, we're going to win. You'll see it. And they don't, and you look like an idiot. And then, oh, this team sucks. And then they win a game. You look like an idiot. And it's just like, oh, you never know what to expect. But at the end of the season, you're kind of right there in the middle. It just makes it rough. So we'll see. USA soccer, the Olympics is kind of a weird deal where you can only have certain numbers of players over the age of 27. It's a weird roster type thing.
Very strange.
I'm going to watch the Olympics because it starts at the end of the month.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to watch the Olympics because I love the Olympics in general. I don't know how much of the soccer I'll watch. I mean, I'll watch rhythmic gymnastics and fencing and canoeing. Whatever's on.
Yeah, I do see some stuff like when the Winter Olympics comes around too. If I see any of that shuffleboard or something like that, I'm like, I'm on. There's certain events that I normally wouldn't watch that come the Olympics. You got to tune in.
Yeah, like, would you ever watch a swim meet on TV?
Yeah, no, but I've definitely witnessed some Michael Phelps swim meets.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Outside of the Olympics, you'd be crazy to watch a swim meet on TV.
Yeah.
But when the Olympics comes on, tonight, 7:00, it's the relays.
Gotta watch the 400 or something like that. That's something you'd normally never watch. I think they're adding a few things though to pique my interest. I'm not sure if it's in this specific Summer Olympics, but I think they're adding flag football or something like that.
I don't think it's probably next one. I know they got rid of baseball. Baseball is not part of the Olympics this year.
Wow, okay. Let me see. Flag football before I start.
They've added surfing this year. I know that.
Paris Olympics. Oh yeah, look, flag football is there.
That's interesting. I'll watch anything.
It's the first iteration of it announced. Okay, for it seems like the inclusion of flag football in the 2028 Summer Olympics in LA. Okay, cool.
I was gonna say, is it a medal sport? Because sometimes there can be sports that aren't medal sports. It's like a trial run.
Well, what the hell am I going to the Olympics for if I'm not going to win a medal?
I mean, if you're sending me to the Olympics to go play some sports, let's go.
Bowie.
Yeah, I know. Go to LA. And so in LA, they're going to have the
flag football. That's in the 2028 Summer Olympics. How old will I be then? 35, maybe.
It seems the Olympics has realized that it's a different world nowadays.
Yeah.
And that to keep people's interest, it's hard enough. To keep attendance up, it's hard enough. So now they're going back to, instead of having a bunch of these kind of like medium to smaller big cities, they're going to the big cities to draw as many people as possible. That's why you get Tokyo, and you get London, and then you get Paris.
We got to be in there, right?
Los Angeles.
We got to be in there somehow, some way. Or is it just one spot? Because I know like when the World Cup comes, there's like some games in New York, some games in Miami, some games over there. Is the Olympics the same way, or are they going to have everything within like LA, for example?
Yeah, what they do is they basically, if it came to quote unquote Miami, it would be all of South Florida. Like you would have some stuff up in Fort Lauderdale,
like Atlanta. When it was in Atlanta, it was just Atlanta. It wasn't like Atlanta and then Chicago.
No. It's not across the country. It's just in that area.
Okay, so I guess it's just going to be in California.
And of course, we know Copa America, the final's going to be here.
Is it?
In Miami. Yes. I think it's July 14th.
Damn, you want to go?
Yeah.
Me too. We won't be able to, but I just wanted to.
No, I would like to go. It'd probably be an expensive ticket, but
yeah, for sure.
And I mean, right now it's looking like Argentina, Colombia, Uruguay are kind of the teams that have a path at it. Which
Colombia is an opportunity.
Oh, Colombia's been great.
Colombia in the final in Miami.
Venezuela's been great too.
Yeah, Venezuela and okay. Look, if either of those go, I got to go to the tailgate.
Well, yeah, I might just go tailgate before and after.
What day? What day is the final?
I think it's July 14th.
July 14th.
Bastille Day.
I gotta make sure I'm available that day. Let's see.
Ticket or no ticket?
That's next Sunday.
Yeah. Ticket or no ticket?
Bro, you got to go to that tailgate.
Ticket or no ticket? You're going to the tailgate.
That's gonna be crazy. Yeah, that's gonna be amazing.
Let's get to the headlines from the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
The Marlins lost in 12 innings yesterday, 6-5 to the Red Sox. The Fish look to end their 4-game skid against the Major League Baseball's worst team, the White Sox, tonight at 7:10. Brian Hoeing gets the start for the Fish. I'm guessing attendance today will be a little bit lower.
Yeah, I'm guessing so as well. And not to derail the headlines here. I just looked at the ticket prices for this Copa America, and I just wanted to share this information with you. If you're looking to see a quarterfinal game at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, or a quarterfinal game in AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, you can do so in Arizona for as low as $58.
Okay, that's good.
And then in Arlington, Texas, you can do it for the decent price of $96. Now, the final.
Yeah,
we don't even know who the hell is in the final. But do you want to know?
You have to buy your tickets in advance. Like, is that one of those things? Like, you just got to run, like Super Bowl tickets. You got to run the risk and just hope your team makes it.
I'm almost positive you're going to have to do that, and I'm almost positive that I don't know anyone who would be able to do that based off what I'm looking at here. There are quite a bit of seats available, mainly in the upper deck. There, not going to lie to you. Now, Dan, do you want to take a ballpark range guess as to what the cheapest ticket listed right now on SeatGeek.com for the 2024 Copa America final in Miami Gardens?
$178.
Which is like, wow, nosebleed seats. That's crazy.
Yeah, worst.
But now let me go ahead and say, Dan, I would laugh at you saying $178 because the actual retail price, cheapest ticket listed here for the final that we do not know who is in the final.
Yeah, we just had our first quarterfinal game last night.
$1,094.
No.
$1,094, and you can change a light bulb, my friend.
There's no way.
Absolutely. And that's before the fees. You know how the fees are.
How? No.
That is the lowest. We're talking row 340. Did you know that there was 340 rows? Section 340, row 7, all the way up there by the lights. You can, like I said, you can literally change a light bulb at that price.
Man.
If you want anywhere near the grass, I can actually get you a good ticket here.
Good ticket.
$2,346 at row 1, right here at the right behind the goal. Which, if I'm being honest,
that's a better deal.
$1,000 for nosebleeds or $2,000 for front row.
Yeah, that's a better deal.
You gotta go front row.
Yeah,
that's obviously the better option. But good luck to anyone who may have an extra ticket and for some reason wants to take Dan or I. You know where to hit us up.
I'll be ready for the tailgate though.
Yeah, me too.
That's what you got. It's free to tailgate.
And what a life! It's honestly going to be much funner there. It should be crazy.
And you can catch the game somewhere and you're good.
The game. That's right. The game.
The Heat begins Summer League tomorrow, 6:30 versus Golden State in San Francisco. We'll get our first looks at Kel'el Ware.
Also, how much those tickets are?
Pele Larson, $25. Bring a canned good and let you in.
That's rough. That's pretty good. I don't even see tickets here.
I mean, you live in San Francisco. Are you getting stoked up for some Summer League basketball? You got a lot of things to do in that great town. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to go buy a ticket and check out a little Summer League ball.
The California Classic. That's what it's known as, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. If I'm looking at tickets, Dan, you and I, 2 tickets. Inventory is limited. Oh, look at that.
It's going to be in a high school gym.
Is it?
Not an actual, but I mean, they're basically the same size as one.
Yeah. I mean, a good high school nonetheless, I'm sure. But the availability of the tickets, inventory is limited, apparently. Wow, still actually much more than I had anticipated. This is more than I'd pay for a Heat ticket. 93 tickets for lower level. I mean, $93 for a ticket at lower level. But if you wanted to sit courtside, Dan, I know how you do.
Yeah, especially during summer league with a bunch of guys you'll never see again.
Yeah, I know how you do. The courtside lounge, $285.
That better come with free everything.
No, unfortunately, you have the ability to enter the courtside lounge, but you will also be charged there as well. Yeah, good luck. Good luck, my friend.
Yeah. Inter Miami, they look to continue their winning ways, but it's not going to be easy. They take on FC Cincinnati tomorrow at 7:30. You can hear the game right here on 560 WQAM.
Nice. You said they were the second best team in the MLS, correct?
As far as points, Inter Miami leads in points. FC Cincinnati nipping at our heels. They're about 2 points behind us.
I'm looking at their roster to see who exactly, if I recognize anyone, because I know me being such a casual, if I recognize someone, then they must be good. And off first look, who can forget Yuya Kubo? One of my favorites.
Been strong.
He's pretty good. Not to be confused with Obina Nawubo.
He's been good.
Oh, also been good.
Solid on the team.
Favorite.
He's your favorite. There's one guy I like on that FC Cincinnati team.
Yeah, it's that Ubia Nawubo. He's good.
He is.
The way he just gets after it.
They got a solid team. The Panthers' names will be added to the Stanley Cup this week. Then each player will get their assigned day with the cup.
Question. Nicknames or full name? Government.
I would guess it's your government name.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to disrespect the honor of the cup, so you wouldn't put, Kentucky cheese on there.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you do it for one person, you have to do it for other people. It gets all weird. And or maybe, whatever you want. No, because then if you say whatever you want your name to be, you can put it on there. No, they're giving you your government name. That's just the way it's got to be. It's cleaner that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, does he have Alexander or does he have Sasha? What is he going to put on the cup?
I would guess it is.
I think Sasha is a Russian nickname for Alexander.
I know. I think it's going to be Alexander, though.
Probably has to be Alexander.
Yeah. Yeah. Just eliminate any gray area.
Yeah.
Just government name.
See, but you can save. You know how they have to remove after a certain while. They have to move the names. After I think it's like then your name will be on the cup for about like 75 years, and then finally they move the plate or something.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. I thought that's what he said. Like how they have.
I had to correct people like, this is for like 50 times. The keeper of the cup told us every 40 years.
Yeah.
The cup is full of names.
Yeah.
They retire it to the NHL Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And they start a new cup.
What?
They're starting to put names.
Oh.
So like in 40 years from now,
yeah,
you can go to the NHL Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And see the cup with all the Panthers names on it.
Oh, so it's not. I thought it was a plate. They would take the plates like on them. They take that plate to the Hall of Fame, put a new plate on there. But they take the whole cup and put it in the cup. Nice. So there's multiple cups in there. Then.
Right. There's multiple cups.
Damn,
I always wondered how they get everybody's names on there. How do they get it like that? But now that makes sense that every 40 years they retire the cup and then they get a new cup. So you can go see your cup in the NHL Hall of Fame.
Damn. So, okay, I got to keep in mind that if I'm seeing the Panthers cup, I want to make sure it is that cup, which you're telling me it is, thank God, because I want it to be the one that touched Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Yeah.
I want it to be the one that Bobby Lou was eating pasta out of.
Right.
I don't need it to be a replica of some sort and, the name and this and that. I want the actual cup. That's what makes it the cup. That's good. I appreciate that because, again, I want authenticity the next time I'm at some sort of, for any reason, I'm not sure if I'll ever be there, NHL museum. And if I see Paul Maurice and the squad there, I want to know that that's the same cup that was at Elbow Room.
Yeah, that's what you want for sure.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Patrick Bertoletti won his first Nathan's hot dog eating competition yesterday on Coney Island. He wolfed down 58 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Second place had 53. How many hot dogs can you put down in 10 minutes?
10 minutes. How many hot dogs? Okay, so these are normal hot dogs. You dip them in water as well. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do, Dan. That's what the professionals do, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah.
Got to dip them in water, dude. So if I'm really trying to get after it.
Yeah.
I really think 10 minutes. Oh, gee, my jaw is going to get tired too.
Yeah, it will.
And then I might get full. I get gas too. 12 hot dogs.
Yeah. So I was in a hot dog eating competition years ago, and I didn't take it very seriously. I was joking around, and I was eating kind of at my own pace, but still trying to wolf some down. So if I'd have really taken it serious and really tried to wolf
12
down
is a lot.
and really tried to do good, I got to 10 in 10 minutes.
Okay, so but you were chilling.
Right. Like I said, I
Yeah.
wasn't going to win. I wasn't going to go
Yeah.
fast. And I was pretty stuffed after
Yeah,
10
I
and 10
can
minutes.
imagine.
So I think if I would have tried, like you said,
Yeah.
like you would, I think 12 would have been realistic.
You dipping them in water, Dad?
No, I was just
Come
eating
on,
them.
you gotta dip them in water.
No, I was
Dude.
just eating
That's the key.
It helps you mash them down. I know. But yeah, so 10 and 10 minutes without trying hard. So I figured I could get 2 more in, but that's a lot, man. 12 and 10 minutes.
That is a lot. That is a lot. And I'm thinking these are like standard size.
Yes,
like
standard
nothing
size
crazy.
dogs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean,
I like me a hot dog. I'm not gonna lie to you.
you
I
get
do
some
like
glizzies, man. Those are always good. Love them.
Absolutely.
Wow,
You get those Leroy glizzies. I'm eating one in 10 minutes.
Oh goodness, what was all on it? Pulled pork? No wait,
It was sausage,
mince meat,
chili, cheese, ground beef. The actual hot dog itself was thick. It wasn't your average Costco hot dog. It was pretty good.
It looked great. It just the cleanup on that was just
It was really good. Really good indeed.
With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. A wax statue of Abraham Lincoln in Washington, D.C. could not stand the heat, and his head melted off.
Damn. That not good. Not good. You don't
Not a
want
good look. Not a good look.
You don't want Abraham Lincoln's head melting off.
Nothing to do with Abraham Lincoln's head.
Yeah, please. It's just like a little eerie.
If they could make a statue out of you, out of some type of object, what would it be?
What material would I want them to make a statue out of me? I think I would say either pink starburst or Dippin' Dots.
Wow, Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, I'm not lasting long, but damn, will I be delicious.
Man, yeah.
Both of those. You leave me as a pink starburst out in the South Florida sun.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. They don't think about these things when they make the statues.
Man.
I'd like to say like peanut butter coated with chocolate.
Ooh. See, you got that sounds good.
Because the chocolate holds it together a little bit better.
You know, honestly, though, if you think about it, man, and this is something they need to weigh in when they start making these statues, you got to weigh into account, you got to take into account global warming. You know, the continent, the country, the city, the entire planet is getting hotter. So it has to be something that is going to be able to hold up in the sun or in the extreme cold. So depending on where you put me, my Dippin' Dots may or may not make it.
Whew, Dippin' Dots. Goodness.
Ice cream of the future, Dan.
It is the ice. It's been the ice cream of the future for what, like 20 years now?
Ice cream of the future, Dan.
In just a little while, we're going to do some start, bench, cut. But next, going to keep going with some of the sports themes and the 5th of July goodness here on Tobin and Leroy Show 560 WQAM. just saw a stat on TV. Buffalo Bills replaced Stephon Diggs with Chase Claypool.
I'm sorry, what? No way.
Couldn't even see the field with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, for sure.
And the Bills are going to try to do that. Okay.
Good luck, my friend.
This could be a tough year for the Bills.
Yeah, what sucks also, and I mean, sucks for the Bills, good for the Miami Dolphins. They also lost Gabe Davis, the probably the second option over in Buffalo. He's now in Jacksonville, which, by the way, is one of my two teams that I think this year are going to be on the up and up.
Who's the other team?
I have the AFC South pretty strong this year because I feel like the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to do their thing, especially with their newly contract gifted to Trevor Lawrence. Didn't deserve that, but whatever. He should be happy. Locked him up long term, and I feel the Colts are going to have a bounce back season as well.
Anthony Richardson
is one of my favorite players to play with in Madden.
Okay, I was going to say he's only had 4 games.
Favorite players to play with in Madden, which is where I usually do a lot of my NFL inside research. It's what I see when I'm playing in Madden.
That's what most people do.
And then I come on here and talk like an expert.
2 teams that I'm telling you look out for. I think one of them will make the playoffs. The reason why both of them won't is they're in the same division. I think both the LA Chargers and I think the Las Vegas Raiders are going to be better than most people are going to give them credit for, at least at the beginning of the season.
Who's a quarterback in Las Vegas? Oh, Minshew.
Yeah, but they've got Antonio. Antonio Pierce. He's the coach there. They kind of had things going in the right direction. Yeah, they don't have the greatest quarterback. It looks like now the Chargers are all in. Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, that's actually, I was thinking the Chargers, did they get that much better this offseason? I think they lost some pieces.
They did lose some pieces.
They did gain a big piece in a coach in Jim Harbaugh, who always seems to find some success wherever he's at. So, but I'm looking at their players, and usually on Google, when you type in a team's name, they'll go ahead and tell you some of the top players to look out for. When I just searched the Raiders right now, had your Devontae Adams, your Max Crosby, for example. I just typed in the Chargers, and these are some of the names that they're giving me. Justin Herbert.
Okay.
Heard of him. Lad McConkey.
Okay.
Is that a real person?
You'd have to.
Lad McConkey. Love that. Joe Alt.
Yeah.
Also seems like a fake name. Brendan Rice. I think someone who's hacked into the Google and apparently put all these fake players in, because I've never heard of a Lad McConkey. But, kudos to him. Hopefully he has a good year. Second rounder this year.
Jim Harbaugh has that way of doing things. He stacks up the defense, which gives his quarterback a little more room to make mistakes, and the offense a little more leeway.
Damn. Lad McConkey played at Georgia, 2 national championships.
Doesn't make you a good NFL player.
No, he did win. I don't know what trophy this is. I got to look it up. The 2023 Werfel. I can't even pronounce that. WERFFEL. Werfel. The Werfel Trophy, which is given to.
It's got to be a quarterback, huh?
Oh my God! Athletic and community service. Get out of here, dude. I can't even.
If you're winning a Danny Werfel trophy, that's got to be
I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's winning. This is amazing. And then I realized it's a community service.
I always feel so bad when someone tells me I was an All-American in college. I was like, whoa, you're an All-American? And you're like, so what, and then you find out they were an academic All-American or something. It's I don't want to diminish that, because that is something very, very great. Yeah. But it's not like you were just a straight up All-American.
Yeah, we know what indication you're giving when you say you're an All-American in school. We're not thinking, collegiate wise.
I won the Werfel Award. Oh, you won an award?
Well, yes,
for community service.
You're looking at a Werfel Award winner right here, dude.
It's I'm not diminishing your award. It's it's not so much for the play on the field, it's for what you did off the field.
Yeah, for sure. In that case, I'd start just making up some names at that point. I'd just be like, yes, I won the Gomez Award of coolness. And they'll be like, yeah, sure, I've heard of that, the Gomez Award.
Yeah, because nobody wants to be outdone. So oh no. Yeah. Oh really? Wow. Who won that the year before? I can't remember. Exactly. It's escaping me. I don't know.
Are you familiar with the Njoku Award?
No.
Good. Yeah, see? Exactly. That's David Njoku's last name, the tight end that used to play for the Hurricanes. You can just lie and just make up awards that way.
There's all types. Yeah.
The McGahee. I've won the McGahee before. That sounds like an award, right?
Sounds like a good award too.
Yeah, I won the McGahee a couple times. 3 out of the 4 years I was eligible, I was able to secure the McGahee.
Okay.
That's good.
Oh, that's like the other one. Like I won this award, and you're like, what? It's like, oh, my teammates voted on it, and it's for the player that epitomizes the program the most. It's like, okay, I mean, like, yeah, I get you.
Yeah, see, that was always strange because I did do organized sports as a kid, and they have these award ceremonies, and they have your standard awards, offensive player, defensive player, but there's always that one like Mr. Dolphin or something like that. That's like given to a guy who's not necessarily the MVP. He's just, really represents the team the best. And I'm like, what is this award here?
We always say that.
What are we talking about here?
It's usually for the person that like never played but still practiced and never gave up. And it's like
the culture guy.
Yeah. It's like,
okay, dude.
Oh,
we get it.
I don't need that. Nobody needs that. No, but they're throwing around the awards, throwing around the different accolades. Yeah, like, oh, he won 2 national championships. Like, was he integral to those 2 national championships, or were he just on the team?
One of the messages here in the chat, Dade South has actually called me out, and I don't appreciate it. I constantly call for Tua to be more mobile. Not necessarily that I want him to be Lamar Jackson, but Dade South has a point when he says, this is why Marcos wants Tua to be more mobile. It's all because of Madden. I mean, if I had a little bit more speed rating on my quarterback, I'd be a little bit happier. I'm not going to lie.
That would help.
It would definitely help. You can extend the play a little bit as I'm playing online against people who are picking the Chiefs.
Tua's going to have some plus yards running this year.
Yeah, I mean, I got faith. Honestly, like, regardless of the criticism that I've given to, I think he's a good quarterback. I think he has potential, a very high chance of being the quarterback of the future in Miami, and I think the only thing that'll prevent him from doing so is injury, of course. And if not that, if he's not able to like win at least one big game in these next couple of years, it'd be like, all right, dude, what are we doing here? But as far as the skills and the actual tools it takes, I think I am willing. This is why I don't want to sign him right now. If we sign him right now, we're going to get him at, probably a better deal than if he goes and he has a great season and then asks for a contract. Then, that's the reason why people secure them before the season begins, because you want to avoid the risk of potentially having to overpay later. But if Tua has a good enough season, I am willing to give him $60 million. Mm-hmm. I am willing to give him whatever he wants, because at that point, I know I have my guy.
Yeah.
So here, take all the money. I don't care.
Right.
But why would I give it to him right now? Why would I do that? Why can't I just wait and see?
Yeah, the Dolphins are buying peace of mind by most likely giving it another year.
Yeah, and what's wrong with that? Baby, I know we've had a good relationship, but we don't have to get married now.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing. And that's most likely what's going to happen. For all the people thinking, no, it's going to get done before training camp.
I feel like it would have gotten done already.
Would have gotten done already with all the stuff. And now there's, what is it? The market is the market,
for sure.
And they don't want to pay the market. Yeah, so we're just going to play it out into that. My question is this: no matter what you think about Tua's skills or ability to win late in seasons, do the Dolphins have any other better options?
I mean, no,
they
literally don't. And then you don't want to go the option of getting a young quarterback and determining, whether or not they're going to do it. Although there was points in which I was like, maybe a Justin Fields kind of whatever, but there's no answer where you feel 100% comfortable. I'd rather have A than Tua.
Right.
And because of that, I feel like, all right, well, you just got to work on what you do have. And, let's give it a year before we go ahead and break the bank, shall we?
No reason to do anything hasty because, let's say you do break the bank for him, give him a bunch of guaranteed money, and he has another setback physically.
Exactly.
Now you got all this money tied up.
Yep.
You don't have a quarterback, and you're back to square one.
Or, let's say he stays healthy and he's just not able to win that big game. Then you just tied yourself to a quarterback who's good, but not good enough. And it's Ryan Tannehill all over again.
Yep.
Now, with that being said, I do think Tua is better. And I do think Tua has the capabilities to do it. And I think he's going to have a great season. I genuinely feel that way. If he's able to remain healthy, I think when it's all said and done, he will be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL for sure. But it's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts, and we'll see.
I'll tell you, it's better to have a year where you only win 3 or 4 games, or even 2 years winning 3 or 4 games, than having 4 or 5 years where you're right at 500.
100%.
Not good, not bad, just mediocre, because you don't even get good draft picks.
For sure. Middling. That's
Yeah,
what the
you're
hell
just
we've been doing.
middling. And I say, if you got to blow it up for a year or two
Yeah,
to make it good, that's it
it
happens.
happens.
But to be middling for 4 years, right at 500,
It's rough.
oh goodness, it is a nightmare, and it's murder for your fan base and for your team. But once again, for the people that love Tua, hate Tua, think he's the future, don't think he's the future, I think everyone, for the most part, agrees he's our best option right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So probably going to sit on that, wait and say, earn your money. I mean, if he goes out there and earns his money, the Dolphins will happily pay it.
I'm telling you, me too. Like, I mean, obviously it's not my money; it's Steve Ross's money, but I have no problem giving to as of right now, what Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence are somewhere in the mid 50s, 50 million a year, or low 50 million a year. You bring me to where I think this Miami Dolphins team can go, because if Tua plays successful football and the rest of the team just does their job, this is a team that can go. We can have a nice deep playoff run. For majority of the season, the AFC East was ours, and we had our way. Of course, what happened. And if something like that happens again, what kind of team you have. But I really feel as if they have the talent to compete with any team, including the Chiefs, including, whomever has been at the top of the AFC recently. So again, if everything goes well, I have no problem giving Tua that contract. I just don't want to do it now.
Yep. I understand. You're probably going to get your wish. That's probably the way it's going to go. At least that's in my opinion. We shall see. Up next, going to do some start bench cut here on the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM. Before I let Marcos take it away for start, bench, cut, I do want to say, well, hello, Jennifer. Glad you can join us.
Hi.
Hello, Jennifer.
Hello. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing absolutely great. You didn't make it out to Leroy's big 4th of July bash?
That's a long story.
I wasn't invited. That's my story.
Yeah, you know what? J-Fig was invited, but she chose.
I was invited, but I kind of moved the holiday schedule around.
Yeah, she forgot when July 4th was. It happens.
Pretty much.
That happens. It's on the 4th of July every year.
Yeah.
But it's a different
Yeah,
day. It's a different day.
That's where it got me, you know?
Yeah, it really does.
Honestly, yesterday I kind of lost track of time too. I didn't realize it was Thursday. I'm sitting here thinking like it's already Friday, and then I'm like, oh, I got to work with Dan tomorrow.
Yeah, I really didn't think I was going back till Monday until I realized I work here every day. So why would I not be going in the next day?
You'll be here tomorrow.
I'm here Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with me. Crazy. So Marcos, take it away. Get to do some start, bench, cut.
Indeed. Let's start it up the only way we know how, with wacky game show music. All right, time for some silly sauce right here on the Tobin and Leroy show. Start, bench, cut. I'm going to give you 3 options. You tell me which one you'd start, which one you'd bench, which one you'd cut. And this is going to be Summer Blockbuster Movie Edition. Recently saw Inside Out 2, which
Did
is...
you like it?
I did like it. I did. You know, my only complaint, if this is a complaint, it felt a little short. Being 10 years since the last one dropped, I felt like, you know, you can give me a little bit more depth in the story, but it's
been 10 years?
It's been 10 years. Yes, you're that
No.
old. For sure. I know.
Your no doesn't change. It's a fact.
It's still the same thing.
That's
2015.
so wild.
Yeah, 2015 was when the first one came out. Yeah, this one really good as well. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and give you these movies that came out during the summer, are considered summer blockbusters. You tell me which one you'd start, which one you'd bench, and which one you'd cut. You guys ready for this one? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go a little old school to begin things, shall we? First on our docket, we're gonna go with Jaws.
Oh.
E.T.
Oh, phone home.
And Alien.
Oh.
Alien, Jaws, and E.T.
Okay.
Dan, let's start with you. Which one are you going to start, bench, and remove from existence?
Man. I mean, I like Alien because of the graphicness and the craziness and all that. Jaws, it's just a classic. You need a bigger boat. E.T. phone home.
There's classics in all these 3. These are 3 classics.
Reese's Pieces and the likes. God, one of these you're gonna have to cut. That's the only problem. Life's full of
ready.
choices.
Oh, she knows.
I'm just trying to walk myself through the process of it all.
Yeah. And then the start is like, hey, you got one movie you're gonna watch right now. Of these 3, this is the one that I'm putting on. The other one is like, in case, let's say our DVD is scratched and in the middle of it, it messes up. We got to put in another one.
All right, I'm going with my heart. I'm going with my heart here. I'm going to start Jaws.
Nice.
We live in South Florida.
All right.
We're at the beach a lot. We're in the water. It's a real
Scary.
intense movie, kind of groundbreaking. Steven Spielberg, good stuff. Start it. Bench. And I'm only doing this because of nostalgia. E.T. Because growing up, E.T. was the movie everybody loved. Another Steven Spielberg movie. And I'm unfortunately going to have to cut Alien. I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like graphic movies too, but
that's a good call. That's a good call there.
Going with my heart. Got to be honest.
I think I'd do the same thing. What about you, J-Fig?
All right.
Yes.
She's ready.
I'm ready. So with everything that you said, Dan, totally agree. Totally agree about Jaws. How it's a classic blockbuster, and it's a classic.
Yep.
But I think differently.
Oh.
See, Jaws.
Yes.
It gives people the wrong impression of sharks.
Oh.
Is this an anti-shark movie?
Wow. I mean, technically,
I just feel like you're basically scaring people from going in the water, and this scarred so many people.
It did do that.
So many people to the point where till this very day, people still talk about Jaws, and they're like, "I'm not going in that water." Did you see Jaws?
For sure. It is the premier scary shark movie.
So do
Exactly. And
the sharks need a
honestly,
better
I'm not
drug
I'm not
department?
a big fan of shark movies because it's false.
Sharknado?
Sure. Oh, God,
Sharknado.
that's awful. That is like
That's good.
that's not
All right.
So okay. Good.
good. I feel like it's bad rep. And you're also kind of restricting people from enjoying the water. And I grew up with my father being a professional diver, so he taught me a lot about the ocean and how beautiful it is. And sure, there are reasons why these movies exist because sharks do have their moments, but it's not a constant news line until like these last couple years. But anyway, so no, I'm going to cut Jaws.
Okay.
Cut Jaws. Okay. That's
Cut Jaws.
That's one that you started, Dan.
Hey, that's okay.
It is.
No
That's why
worries,
it's
dude.
everyone's list. Everyone's list there.
And I'm going to start ET because that is a classic.
E.T. Wow.
Drew
Start
Barrymore.
ET,
Barrymore. Yeah, for sure.
and I'm going to bench Alien.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, it's crazy that it still made it to your bench. I didn't think Alien was making it to the bench. So
It's making it to the bench.
Now remember,
Fun fact, my
Alien-
brother actually has Alien tattooed on his arm.
Oh wow.
Oh, nice.
Very
Well,
random.
she didn't shave her head until Aliens. Am I correct?
Yes.
The
you are
Alien
correct.
movie. She's still out there living her best life.
Best life. Well, to the best of her ability.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get eaten up by Alien.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
Marcos, what you got?
All right, let's go for the second round here. This one is going to be superhero related. All
Okay.
right. Iron Man, 2008 with Robert Downey Jr. We got Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire.
Wait. We're doing which one? Which was the first one?
First one was Iron Man.
Got it. Okay.
Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. The next one we're going with is Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. That is where he went against Dr. Octavius. And then the third option is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy. So is it going to be start bench cut for Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man 2, and Iron Man? J-Fig, what you got?
That's hard. I'm still thinking about it,
Okay,
Dan.
I got you. No problem at
Dan,
all.
what you got, Dan?
We're gonna start Guardians of the Galaxy
Start that
because
one.
it's got all types of craziness in it. Talking raccoons. It's got a
Yeah.
good soundtrack of classic
soundtrack.
rock.
It does have a great soundtrack.
Kinda
That's a good
interesting
point.
Yeah, that weighs into it. That does weigh
Yeah,
into
for
it.
sure.
Spider-Man 2 because I like that the sequel might be better than the original. It's got a good storyline.
Yeah, that
And
one was a
then-
good one.
I'm gonna cut
Mm.
Iron Man. I was never super impressed by the Iron Man movies. I'm not a huge comic book fan, especially when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
So I always was kind of underwhelmed by the Iron Man movies. So I'll do that. I'll go
Damn.
with Guardians of the Galaxy start. I
Yeah.
will bench Spider-Man 2. I like the storyline. I like that the sequel could be better than the original. And then I'm going to cut the what was it? What movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man 2, and Iron Man.
Iron Man. I'm going to
So
cut
Iron
the
Man
Iron Man.
gets cut. All right.
So
that's fair.
sorry, Robert Downey Jr.
No, it's understandable. Sometimes don't make the cut, dude. It is what it is. J-Fig, what do you got? Spider-Man 2, Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm not a fan of this. I don't like this. I'll start Spider-Man 2.
Wow.
I can understand that.
Damn. Yeah, I feel like that's like strictly nostalgia, though.
Yeah, and obviously, my number one fear is in the name, but for some reason, I just love those movies.
It's fair.
Not number 2. Bench.
Yes.
You know what? Iron Man's a classic. I am going to bench Iron Man.
Bench Iron Man. Okay,
And
cool.
as much as I love that soundtrack, I'm gonna cut
Yeah.
Guardians because I haven't really finished watching other movies. So
Okay. Well, if you have an opportunity to finish the last Guardians of the Galaxy, especially you being an animal lover, definitely something that you'll like.
okay,
You will cry though.
Oh,
You guys ready for one more on the way out?
let's go.
sure.
All right. This one is another classic movies. All right. Classic movies on this one. And we're ranging in dates here. Start bench cut The Dark Knight. Men in Black. And the final option of start, bench, cut, Jurassic Park.
Ooh.
Men in Black.
I quit.
Men in Black, Jurassic Park, Dark Knight.
Yeah, real easy. You start, of course.
Easy.
Easy.
All right, we'll
yeah.
see.
Start The Dark Knight. That was a fantastic, unbelievably great movie, man.
Hey, you know what? You're preaching to the choir here. I
mean,
think we're in the minority with that. Though.
It's what, and no, seriously. And I'm not even, like I said, into a lot of those types of movies. And I was into that movie. I like the way they put it together.
One of
I
my
thought it was
favorite
cool.
movies
It was
ever.
great. I thought it was unbelievable. That definitely gets the start. I will bench Jurassic Park. I don't think Jurassic Park's all that great, but the whole dinosaur story and everything like that. And I'm going to cut Men in Black because even in the height of Men in Black and when I saw it in the theaters, I was like, this should be more entertaining.
You didn't like Men in Black?
No, I didn't say I didn't. I didn't think it was as
I
good as
watched
I thought it was.
Men in Black so many times.
I've done it too.
Watched it a couple weeks ago too.
Okay, I didn't do that. Thinking what you got now. Maybe your Men in Black take might be a little different than mine.
What's your start, bench, cut for these?
That's very nostalgic to me too. Like I grew up watching Men in Black.
Yeah, for sure.
A
The
lot.
Men in Black ride at Universal.
And I love that ride. I feel like they should never cut that ride out.
No,
And
it's
it's probably an unpopular opinion because people say cut it already. But I just feel like a kid when I go back on it.
Got to get rid of that ET ride.
I haven't gone on that one in a long time.
All
Should
right, so
probably
who's
do that
who's your
beforehand.
starter of those three?
Is it Dark Knight, Men in Black, Jurassic Park?
I don't. Okay, you know what?
I do like how you feel as though the world is on your shoulders right now. Like something really bad could happen if you
Because
just
they're
Men in
all
Black.
very good.
Like, I'm like, you think,
Okay.
we're a
I
minute
will,
past 1
I
o'clock.
will agree with Dan, except I will switch and I'll put start Jurassic Park.
Nice. Okay, so start.
And I'll
so you didn't agree
bench.
with Dan, then.
I'll bench the Dark Knight.
Okay, so you just switched his to Sergeant because you cut Men in Black as well, right?
I did. Yeah.
Damn, both of you cutting Men in Black.
You
Huh?
gotta understand that's the way it is.
Wow, watch out, man. Will Smith could be listening. You know, he gets angry.
Oh, and he's been down here. I know Jaden Smith's been around South Florida a lot lately, down in South Beach.
Oh wow,
I have an insider.
filming a movie, or
I don't know. I have an insider though that
I believe it.
they've served him breakfast a couple times.
Breakfast.
He keeps a crew with him. A little insight right
that's
there.
fair. That's
So maybe
fair.
he's listening.
All
We'll
right.
see. All right, come back for the final hour of the show. Tobin and Leroy, 560 WQAM.
WQAM broadcasting live.
We're going to get into everything happening in and around the sports world here in South Florida, but there's a couple of national and international headlines that we have to talk about real quick. Spain and Germany still scoreless in the 48th minute of the Euro. I know a lot of people keeping an eye on that one. Carlos Alcaraz, speaking of Spain, he defeated Francis Tiafoe, United States, in 5 sets at Wimbledon. It was a classic. Unfortunate for me and the United States. Francis Tiafoe could not beat Carlos Alcaraz.
Oh, Wimbledon.
Wimbledon action continues every day, all day for another, week plus. Next Sunday will be the last day.
Yes, I have money on it.
Coco Gauff, get her going. I think that's later today.
Nice.
So that should be fun. That should be interesting.
I don't have money on it.
Yeah, Coco Gauff's going right now. She's up 1 set.
Yes.
To none. So.
Love. Don't even know what that means. I just know it's a tennis term. What do they call the court? Like, okay, because in soccer it's the pitch, it's the court in basketball, so it's a court in tennis.
Tennis court, yeah.
Yeah. How's the court playing today, huh?
Well, it's starting to get, it gets a little worn down as the tournament goes on because people keep playing on that grass.
Oh, is it grass?
It's actual grass, yeah.
What the hell? Playing tennis on grass? I know they play it on like clay sometimes.
Yeah, they play it on the faster concrete surfaces, but yeah, it's grass over there at Wimbledon. It's actual grass.
Wimbledon. I gotta look this up. I don't even know you can do that.
Yeah, no, they've done it. They've done it good.
Grass at Wimbledon. Those Wimbledon people, they may be onto something with this whole tennis tournament. It's 100% perennial ryegrass, and it's cut exactly 8 millimeters, the height of 4 half quarters stacked. The hell is a half quarter?
You got me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let the professionals deal with that.
That is crazy.
Let's get to some headlines real quick. They are brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Another national outlet predicts the Canes will be in the ACC championship game. This time it is Andy Staples of On 3. Yes. Miami also got a commit from 4-star Orlando area QB, Darian Coleman. What I want to do real quick is look at this Miami schedule and see how realistic it is that they're actually going to be one of those teams that'll be at not the big game at the end, of course.
Yeah. Well, look, Miami's done something that they haven't done in quite some time, and that is secure a quarterback.
Cam Ward, yes.
Cam Ward is a good prospect at the quarterback. I think probably the best option we've had since De'Aaron King and maybe even before.
Yeah. I would say he's bigger than De'Aaron King, but I'm saying that probably because of recency bias. But starts the season August 31st, 3:30 against the Florida Gators at Florida. Florida kind of down, but both teams kind of trying to make a mark in a rivalry game.
Yes.
That's winnable for the U. Winnable.
I'll be in Gainesville for that, actually.
Oh, okay.
I will be. I'll be performing with Channing Crowder that Friday.
Oh, like a little comedy show.
Yes, indeed. Hopefully 2 shows. Hopefully it gets so packed that we have to sell 2 shows.
Nice.
Look at that.
Look at us.
Then Miami gets Florida A&M. That should be a win. They get Ball State. That should be another win. South Florida. That's going to be tricky. South Florida's going to want that one.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech should be a win, but once again, you're usually going to lose one that you're not supposed to lose and win one.
What time is that Virginia Tech game?
7:30.
And is it at Virginia Tech?
No, it's at Miami.
Oh,
and I think September 27th is a Friday. If you want me to complicate things more,
well,
yes,
no,
it's a Friday game.
Because if it's a Friday night lights at the Hard Rock Stadium, we have a home field advantage in that sense. Because if there's one thing that I know, Miami loves to attend a night football game.
Yes,
that is something that we do.
It's muggy, but it's cool.
Yeah, one of the last great games was a Notre Dame versus Miami late night at Hard Rock. It was a good time. It was a good time for sure. Now, had you told me that game was, for example, in Blacksburg at night, I'd be like, yeah, Virginia Tech definitely can take that one. But I don't know. I like our chances at home.
Spain just got a goal. They're up 1-0 on Germany in the 52nd minute.
Nice. Who was that? David Villa, potentially? Was it Sergio Ramos? Those are the only Puyol? I used to play FIFA like 2011. That was the only reason I know those names.
Then Miami goes out to California to play Cal. Once again, winnable. Louisville, probably not going to win that one. Florida State, that's toss-up. because it's a rivalry game. Duke
Yep.
should be able to beat Duke. Georgia Tech
should be, but I think we've struggled with Duke as a recent.
Yes, but Georgia Tech, that's a no doubter. We're going to win. We're going to
nice.
avenge last season.
Love that.
Wake Forest and Syracuse. Whew. So you see, it lost to Louisville. And
Is
then,
that okay? Is that an away game as well?
yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
And then you figure you're going to lose one more that you're not supposed to lose.
What's our first big like road test? Do you think it'd be Gainesville?
Yeah, well, obviously.
Kicking off. Yeah, that starts early. We did the same thing. We've done this a couple times, I think, where we start like these big games. Usually, some of these schools do cupcakes to start the season. Easy little. Let me play against Broward College, for example.
Right.
Not the Canes. For some reason, they're like, we'll be dope. Texas A&M on the road.
Yeah.
What are we
Alabama?
doing?
Remember 1 year they started against
yeah.
Alabama?
Oh, yeah, I do. I do remember talking myself into us being able to shock the world that day.
Whew.
Not good. Long story short. Spoiler alert, we did not.
That game out in California is your first road test.
Yeah.
And the real reason it's a test is because you have to fly across time zones to a different side of the country, playing a team that you don't have a lot of familiarity with. But yeah. You get Florida State at home. Once again, I think that's a winnable game this year for the U. Georgia Tech can get them. Wake Forest scares me a little bit.
Doesn't Florida State have a good team, though? Like, weren't they, like, in the championship talk? They just ended up losing their quarterback.
Right. Well, Florida State and Clemson are expected to be the two best teams in the ACC, while Miami is supposedly, once again, these are preseason, third best team.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's all talk right now because we can't tell, but we're gonna go. The Marlins, they lost in the 12th inning yesterday, 6-5 to the Red Sox. The Fish look to end that 4-game losing skid against Major League Baseball's worst White Sox tonight at 7-10. Brian Hoeing gets the start for the Fish. Probably had a lot of Boston Red Sox fans at the games these past couple of days.
Yeah.
Not going to be as many White Sox fans at the game.
Indeed, but I do have a good – oh, no, actually, you know what? Too late. If you went to the game yesterday, you had an opportunity to get those first of a kind co-branded crowns from Burger King.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had the Miami Marlins Burger King collab there to have the new crowns, which is like, all right, I mean, you can't give me a win or a Whopper Jr. The very least you can do is give me a crown. So
McDonald's, Burger King crown, Marlins crown.
Burger King Marlins crown, which as you can see here, doesn't look very bad. Doesn't look very
Looks nice.
Yeah, I'll take this.
No, they're adjustable.
Yeah, so you get a little bit of
They've
BK.
always been adjustable.
Yeah,
but sometimes they get cheap with the giveaways. It's one size fits all kind of vibe. This one, you can adjust it. It could be for a little kid or it could be for Dan Day. Nonetheless, I'd rather take a W, but I'll take a crown whenever they want to give away some free stuff.
That's what I always hate when they give away like cool prizes, but they end up and it's not their fault, but like the sponsor has to be out loud and proud. Like we're gonna give you a throwback Marlins jersey to the first 1,000 fans, but then there's gonna be a huge symbol on the front of I'm just trying to make up a business,
exactly.
Florida Power and Light on it. It's like and it just dominates the whole thing. It's like it was a cool prize to have, but now I can't wear it because it's got this big FLP thing on it,
Yeah, I do like this crown though. But unfortunately, it was only available up until yesterday. It was given out at the gate on Tuesday, July 2nd and Thursday, July 4th, which means if you got one, hold on to it. It's a collectible at this point.
Very nice.
You deserve it. If you went out to a Marlins game on July 4th, you deserve it.
Sat through 12 innings of baseball
for a loss.
And I think the first 6 innings, no one was scoring. So you didn't have a lot of fireworks, pardon the pun, early in the game. You had to wait until the end of the game. Ugh. That's got to be tough, Marcos, since you have a child now. A baseball game, any sporting event's got to be a tough sell because you bring them out, and eventually they're going to get cranky and want to leave.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to make it through a whole entire game.
100%. But, it's surprisingly, though, if there is one game that I think he'd do best at, it'd probably be a Marlins game. Although I did have a pleasant experience at a Panthers game. It just happened to be because I had the suite. So I had the ability to put him in the stroller or stuff like that. If I'm braving the elements of a normal sporting event, the best possible option will be a Marlins game. I have enough space for me to operate if I need to. I'm not like, excuse me. Chances are the roof is probably going to be closed, so I have an opportunity to not necessarily be cooked by the sun. The food options are good, so I have a chance to walk around and not worry about missing the game, because who really cares? You're really just there for the experience. So I do plan on taking him to a Marlins game before the season is done, based off of, man, this kid has had a week. He's been to the beach. He went to the movies for the first time. He went to a fireworks show. This kid has a passport already. He's living his life, dude.
Passport already.
Yeah, already has a passport. Cutest passport picture ever, by the way. Adorable.
The Heat,
I still feel like the Panthers would be also a good option because it's cool in there. Like,
yeah,
the baby's not sweating or
for sure,
or like the sun is visible to him or anything like that.
From that standpoint, it's good. But the problem is the Panthers are a good team.
It's loud.
So they're going to be scoring a lot. And it's going to be the horn. It's going to be screaming. And people are going to be actually engaged in the game and yelling. And, he may
Well, that's why you put the little headphones on him.
Yeah, I do. But, if there's one thing about babies, whatever you tell them to do, they do the opposite. So he's trying to take those headphones off the entire time. Unless I glue them to his head, there's no way those headphones are staying on. Which I'm not against.
The Heat begins Summer League tomorrow at 6:30 versus Golden State in San Francisco, and the Panthers' names will be added to the Stanley Cup this week, when each player will also get their assigned day with the cup.
Yeah. What if you could choose your own font? That'd be cool, right? The Panthers, we're going to have ours in Brickley script. Times New Roman for everyone else.
Times New Roman. I
want it in cursive. How about that?
Just spray paint my name on there.
Oh, that's good. Hey, this guy's onto something. Put it in Braille.
With that being said, let's real quick take a step into the day spa. An obscure Norwegian island has had a law in effect that makes it illegal to die on the island since 1950.
Illegal? So if you die, who pays the penalty?
What's the punishment?
Yeah, exactly. What are we doing here? Charge it.
No, what if
that makes sense?
What if you're dying and in your last dying breaths they usher you off the island?
Oh, you're like, oh my God, it looks like Grandpa's gonna go. And it's like, oh my God, we gotta airlift him though.
Can't be a criminal. He can't be a criminal.
Can't be a criminal on his way out.
They just dump you in the ocean. Here you go.
I think I'm gonna instill that rule in my home though. Not allowed to die in my home. Do not want any hauntings. So if you come visit, you got to stay alive. That's my only rule.
It's a good rule to have in a house.
Good rule to have on an island. Good rule to have in a house.
Just let people know, no foolishness, no dying around here.
No dying allowed, all right?
Because you let one thing get by, and it's another thing, and it's another thing, it's another thing. It's just
this guy just thinks he can just die here, huh? This is a vacation, buddy. You're killing the vibes. Fun intended.
Up next, going to talk about the Panthers dynasty here on the Tobin and Leroy Show, 560 WQAM. Coming up in just a few minutes, going to play the game Dead to Me here on the Tobin and Leroy show. But right now, what I want to talk about is the Florida Panthers dynasty. Someone left their notes here in the studio, and I said, and it says, are the Florida Panthers a dynasty? You can make the argument that they were President's Trophy winners one year and lost in the second round of the playoffs. Then last year, they went all the way to the finals. This year, they won. I'll ask you, Marcos and J Fig, is that enough to constitute a dynasty?
As of right now, today, July 5th, 2024, I cannot say they're a dynasty after one Stanley Cup, but they win another one next year. I'm willing to consider it. Because
I think they're headed in the right direction after these past couple seasons.
Now, everyone keeps saying that. If they win a second one, they are a dynasty.
Yeah.
Well, I point back to a couple of years back where the LA Kings, behind Jonathan Quick's goaltending, they won 2 championships, and the LA Kings fans were saying, dynasty, dynasty, dynasty.
Yeah.
And everybody else was saying, no, not enough.
Were they competitive before those 2 championships? My hockey fandom doesn't go back that far.
Not super. They were a lot like the Florida Panthers back then. They kind of came out of nowhere at that first championship because Jonathan Quick was really, really good. And then the next, not that next year, but the next, they went on and won the championship again. For me, what it would take for the Florida Panthers to be considered a dynasty would be they have to get back to the finals at least 2 more times and win one of those 2 times.
Yeah. Okay. So you think even if they go back and, they have to win one more. Yeah. I think it's that second one that really solidifies it because, I consider the Patriots a dynasty.
Of course.
And if I'm not mistaken, they never had a 3-peat, right?
Right.
I know they may have gone to 3 in a row, but I'm not sure if they had 3 in a row. I can't necessarily remember off the top.
And we consider the Golden State Warriors a dynasty.
For sure.
And they won 4.
And they won 4 total.
Right.
Which is understandable.
But also getting to the finals counts too.
That's what I think. The Panthers have gotten to 2 finals. And honestly, they were, like you said, the President's Cup trophy winner before. So they've had 3 successful seasons.
That's a good run.
So it's definitely like you said, it's a good run. They go ahead and win a second championship, then that'll be 3 straight Stanley Cup finals, 4 straight successful seasons.
If they win another, then
that's half a decade.
Now that you say that, yeah. So if they were to win it next year, we could put them in kind of the light dynasty category. Yeah, and then if they make another Stanley Cup, or if they win another Stanley Cup, definitely, because you win 3, then you're definitely a dynasty.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I guess I could say that. But also, it depends on your body of work too. Like if you're total dog crap for 2 seasons, win a championship, dog crap for another 2 seasons, then win. Sorry, Fig. I can see Fig's face. And then you win a championship. Like if there's nothing really of substance between the championships, it's hard to say that your team is a dynasty. I think right now Florida still has a little work to do, but look what they've done. They've got Reinhardt back. They got Lundell back. They've got a lot of guys signed for long periods of time. They're doing
Saw Tarasenko also left.
Yeah.
When you win a championship, there's going to be some attrition for the simple fact that you can't keep everybody. And now their value is so high, they have to go out there and get their money.
Yeah, but we've done a good job securing our young core. I know a majority of our young core is secured for the next 6 to 8 years.
Right.
So that's solid. We're gonna have Barkey, Kachuk. We just signed Reinhardt again. Lundell. So we're doing what we can to remain relevant in regards to securing our young core. We still have the solid goaltending of Bob. He's locked down for a little bit. We're already working on his replacement of Spencer Knight.
Mm-hmm.
So we've laid down the groundwork to be a dynasty. I think we have the leadership up top. We have the talent down below. So, and the support from the fans. And I think those are recipes to build successful franchises. We've seen it across various sports. I think they can do it.
Yeah, I think so. And now that you say it, if they do win back-to-back Stanley Cups and you combine it with that President's Trophy and also getting to the Stanley Cup final, that's enough to say that's a dynasty, because that means for 4 years you have been one of the most dominant teams in hockey.
Yeah.
Then following that, as long as you're in the playoffs making competitive runs, I mean, if you win another one, definitely. But even if you make it to another Stanley Cup final, and I think they're well within their means to do it. This year, they were exactly what we thought they were going to be throughout, and they seem to have not lost that much. I saw Bleacher Report actually did a power ranking on all the teams following this early stage of free agency and the draft. And you would think since the Panthers did lose a certain amount of players that they would have kind of fallen. No, they're still right at number 1 in the power ranking for Bleacher Report for teams following the free agency and early draft. So that means that they're in a better spot than anybody else, even losing those players because of what they've gotten. And we all know that people want to come play here in South Florida for the obvious reasons. Number 1, it's beautiful weather, great facilities, good organization, and it is a state tax-free state.
State tax-free state.
And if you actually make money, that makes a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
If you don't make money, and then we all know.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see contracts that are for more money in other places, but after, the adjustment of the state tax, you end up making more here.
Yeah. And they use that as negotiating and everything like that. So hoping that we do have this dynasty. That parade the other day, I was talking to people. Marcos, you were out there and all the craziness.
Yes.
Figgy, I'm sure you were out there getting rained on, poured on, everything else.
Definitely was.
I talked to some people. They said fights were breaking out in the crowd.
Fights?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Really?
Yeah. I was worried about that.
Some weird like I saw Buffalo Bills fans, Buffalo Sabres fans. What are you even doing here?
Why would you be, especially in the rain too? Like
in the rain at a parade? Like what are you doing here?
I heard there was like guys running around that wanted people to pour just beers on top of them. And like one guy at one point had like 10 beers poured on him. And the guy I was talking to was like, I wasn't so much like, why is this guy got beers poured on him? He's like, why are people wasting their money by pouring their beer on his head?
I was thinking definitely.
Yes. Party foul.
Yeah. Have you ever had that though? Have you ever been like a beer throwing party?
Beer throwing party? No. I mean, I've done my fair share of tailgates, so I've been around various beer contraptions.
Right.
You got your keg stands, you got your funnels, shotgunning, this and that. But to openly waste beer by pouring it on yourself, that is not a luxury I've ever had.
It's an odd feeling because it gets in your pores. I mean, you're drinking it and it gets in your pores, and it just, man.
It really messes you up?
Yeah, it messes you up a little bit.
So you're telling me if I don't drink any beer and I just have people pour beer on me, I'm going to feel a buzz?
You'll feel it, yeah.
Really?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So now
via osmosis.
A man that says he doesn't want to waste beers. Now, I mean, if you're gonna feel a little something too.
Okay, then how about that's a good point. How about this? We'll just fill up a garbage can with beer, right? I'll just sit in it for a little bit, and then we can serve the beer to other people. No waste there, dude. No waste at all.
I mean, well,
no, it's all good, all clean.
I was gonna say, have we been cleared by the?
Their science is bro science.
By the FDA. No, I'm not sure if that's gonna pass.
We have cheap beer here. Our man took a bath in it earlier today, but it's cheap beer. I'm such a not stickler for anything. Like you tell me, our cheapest beer is $4.50. I'm like, oh, okay. Or you can get dollar beers, but a guy in a bathing suit was sitting in the beer earlier today
for science.
Like $1.
Gotta save me for a
dollar.
Though. Is it cold? Is it a gold?
I feel like you would definitely go for that.
I'm definitely going for it.
Dollar beer. What's the percentage on that thing? I gotta get a high percentage beer because if it's going through my pores, it's got to fight through a lot.
what is a golden monkey?
Oh yeah, I need a couple golden monkeys inside. And hey, look, we can get you this 9.5. Usually this beer costs you anywhere between $7 and $8. We'll give it to you for $1. But a
fully bathed.
Yes, I was clean when I walked in there, right?
You get a bathing suit on, so there was no direct touching.
I didn't pee in the beer, did not pee in the beer. Now did a little bit get in my nose and I have to go
absolutely. And
then sometimes stuff happens.
I would not be drinking that beer.
Come on. It's only $1.
It's hard out there in the streets.
It is hard out there in the streets, dude.
You can get yourself a Rolling Rock for $4, or you can get yourself a Golden Monkey, half man Golden Monkey for $1.
Golden man.
Ooh.
No.
Delicious.
They were saying the parade was crazy too because the Panthers kept jumping off the bus and running through the crowd and jumping in the ocean and like.
But I love that they did that.
No, I think it's great. They just said it was crazy. Like
it was hard to keep.
Oh, of course.
It was like guerrilla warfare. They said
it did not make the end. It did not make the end because they were supposed to be closing things off at Bo's Beach, where we had the 560 WQAM broadcast and where the stage was located on the beach itself, the sand. But I know that prior to it getting to Bo's Beach, they got off of that bus and they started walking through the crowd. I had to text Hollywood and Tobin, who were on the scene, and letting them know that, hey, the cup is coming towards you and it's on foot. Made it eventually, though.
I like
Luckily.
that though.
Yeah, I was by Bowls Beach also, and the only one I actually saw up close was Lomberg because
Oh, yeah.
he went all the way to the end where the cops were.
Lomberg is
Yeah.
everywhere that day.
Lomberg is the-
Everywhere. He made every news outlet.
He looked like a pro wrestler. Like he's swolled up.
with the
He's
belts.
wearing his belt. He's got
His
shorts,
belt.
no shirt,
Yeah.
living the dream. That's the way I would celebrate a Stanley Cup championship. I
Agreed.
wouldn't throw the cup in the ocean. I would just be like Lomberg, just acting crazy.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would also make out with random women along the parade route.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
probably-
you know, his children
yeah.
were there, so I don't really think that would have been
but was
appropriate.
his lady there? That's a question.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, I don't
He has a family. I didn't know he had a family.
He does have a family, Marcos.
He doesn't. Okay,
If they weren't there, would that be acceptable?
Well, I just feel like does Lomberg seem like a guy who has a family?
Well, he obviously does. Yeah, he was being
Well, he
responsible.
does.
He was
Yeah,
being responsible
does.
that day. I give him
That-
credit.
that's
Whether
all.
it seems he does or not.
He remains as the same way, whether or not he is a family man. The way that he operates, I thought potentially he could be a bachelor playboy, but I was wrong.
He does have the bachelor playboy look.
He has a bachelor playboy vibe to him, but it's okay. Hey, maybe
Best of luck in the next stop. By the
best
way.
of luck in Calgary.
Calgary.
Yeah, bum.
Whew. All right, you're dead to me next, and we're going to close out the show. Tobin and Leroy, 560 WQAM. Oh, one of my favorite country bangers.
Banger.
Toby Keith, Red Solo Cup. I fill you up. A lot of people drinking from that Red Solo Cup yesterday. It's patriotic.
It's solo. Yeah, I did have
That is a picture of 4th of July.
Yeah, need a Red Solo Cup.
And do like Leroy. Every time you mention a Red Solo Cup or he sees one, oh, Dan, you know what that's about. Whenever you're in New Orleans seeing people drive around, they always have a Red Solo Cup. I'm like, yeah, they do.
Yeah, true.
It's part of their just makeup and uniform. It was bad. It's really bad in Louisiana, New Orleans.
Yeah.
To give you an example, I had to buy a beer because my mom wanted to sit on some benches and they were wet because I couldn't just ask for a towel to wipe down. So I got the beer and she's like, well, go get my car. I said, I have a beer in my hand. She's like, that's fine. Just go.
Huh.
Then I was taking her somewhere. I was like, hold the beer. And she's like, I don't feel like holding this. As I was driving, she handed me my beer and said, I don't feel like holding this.
Huh. Yeah, and
Typical.
obviously she had no fear of like any sort of repercussions.
If I'd have gotten in trouble, like my mom made me do it.
Yeah, true. I mean,
That's how it works, but nonetheless. So you're dead to me is what we're doing right now.
You're dead to me.
yes, indeed. Time now for our favorite Friday game. You're dead to me. Dan,
You're dead to me.
I'm going to start things off if that's okay.
Go for it.
Would you consider yourself a fashion mogul by any chance?
Mogul would be a strong word.
Strong word.
But I do dabble in fashion.
I do. I've seen you. I've seen you dabble in fashion. And I am a fan of your fashion wear. Jersey Tuesday, though, that's my favorite for sure. Or is it a different day?
You're right.
J Fig, would you consider yourself a fan of these fashion brands? For example, the Gucci, the Louis, the YSL. Is that something you partake in?
I don't. I truly don't. I don't care. If I like something and it's a reasonable price, I'll buy it.
I mean, tell you, H&M got so many great things.
Oh, H&M
Yeah,
is good.
like I don't care about brands. Who's gonna truly see it besides me? And I'm not materialistic like that. I don't know.
You know what? That's fair. I don't think I get that from you. I think there's a lot of people who could agree they don't get that from you. But there is a certain brand or type of person that is in love with these brands, the materialistic, if you will. And news came out recently that I can say if you are one of those people, you're not necessarily pleased after hearing this. The company and brand known as Dior. You guys familiar with that?
Yes.
Mhm.
Christian Dior.
Christian Dior. They have bags that sold for nearly $2,800. Italian prosecutors found out recently, though, that Dior was paying a miraculous $57 to produce these bags. These bags were retailing at a price of $2,780. So if you think about that, that is a markup, doing some quick math here, of $2,723. What percentage is that? You know, that's like a 1,000% markup at that point.
Goodness.
Where's Leroy?
Yeah, exactly. Need more quick math in regards to percentages. But like I just mentioned here, after securing those bags at a whopping $57, and if you think of how many bags Dior sells on a daily basis, even worldwide, you can imagine that the profit margin on that specific item was somewhere upwards in the millions simply by selling a low number of bags. This is something that we're guilty of constantly. I take a white t-shirt, I can sell it for $2.99. If I put a simple Nike check on it, or if I put a polo horse on it, all of a sudden
little holes.
Yeah, make it look like for some reason I rolled around in the dirt.
Got in a fight with a bobcat.
Absolutely. I may actually have a shirt that looks like I have fought in a backyard wrestling match, and depending on what logo or how I advertise it, I can go ahead and sell that shirt at whatever rate I'd like. Now imagine if I take that shirt that I purchased for $2.99 and then sell it for a whopping $175. That still wouldn't be as much of a markup as this Dior bag was. It's not the first time any of these places have done it, and it won't be the last time they've done it. I can't urge people enough to leave these stupid brands alone. And from now on, each one of these expensive brands, especially Dior and Armani, you're dead to me.
You're dead to me.
Dan, what you got?
By the way, Germany just scored in the 89th minute.
Whoa! Golazo! Potentially, I don't know. I just feel like people say that in soccer, so I say it all the time.
Meaning it's never over in soccer. So now it's looking like it's onside. Yeah, it's going to be 1-1 going
into
the game.
Left footer. Yes, in soccer terms, we call this the
equalizer.
Yeah, I guess.
Nonetheless, staying along the terms of soccer, it would be very easy to put the United States men's national team or their coach Greg Berhalter as you're dead to me, but I got to ride or die with my team. I don't ever want to give up hope. I always have this belief that one day we'll figure it all out and we will be a world power in soccer. We've got the people, we've got the athletes, we just got to get the mind frame right. So what I am going to do is put it somewhere else in the soccer world. You're dead to me. I'm giving it to the Panama national team.
Whoa.
You're dead to me.
I'll give you a couple of reasons why.
Yeah, I need to know.
First of all, yes, USA did start the fight against Panama. Tim Weah threw the punches, hit the guy in the back of the head. I understand that. Panama, though, pretty much knocked us out of the tournament because Copa America, because they beat us 2-1. It was the cheap shot on Christian Pulisic at the very end of the game when they're up 2-1 with barely any time left, where they could have seriously hurt our captain by sweeping his legs out from underneath him and doing that. So that already really, really made me very angry. They're also a CONCACAF team. They're not a Copa America team, so that means we have to face them in all the CONCACAF tournaments. Yeah. And one more reason why Panama is dead to me is because they did advance to the knockout round, and tomorrow at 6 o'clock, they will be playing Colombia.
Ooh.
You're dead to me.
So Panama, for being classless in a way, taking a cheap shot when the game was over and you had it won, and because you're playing the Colombian team that number one has been playing really well, but number two has a lot of support down here in South Florida, you are dead to me.
Absolutely.
You're dead to me.
Figgy, what you got?
So you know that Ring app where people, like neighbors around you, are constantly sending messages and stuff?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't do that actually.
Well,
yes.
I recently got into that. And I'm not a person who enjoys having my phone go off every 5 seconds with nonsense messages.
Wow. So hold on. Are these people sending messages like, hey, watch out for this? This came up on my camera, or is it just automated? So-and-so has walked by the front door.
Well, no, that's it. That's only for your house or your place or whatever. No, but people are saying, oh, be careful for this.
Oh,
they'll
my
say,
God.
but they're very nosy. They probably don't even live near that part where they are even commenting on, and they'll be like, oh man, did you see what was going on over here? There's a bunch of cops, what's going on, this and that. But one thing I cannot stand is when they give you the most nonsense questions. I just got one recently that said, does anyone have a cold, or I don't even know what?
Is anyone sick right now?
Is anyone sick right now? What is this? Is not social media. This is not.
What does that have to do with
not a way to engage with us. I have no reason to be reading any of this.
Does anyone else have the sniffles at the moment? Just checking.
Yeah, is anyone feeling under the weather? What do you mean? Go talk to a doctor, not to us.
So people are using it as a chat room.
It is, and
that's
it's
a neighborhood
not,
watch kind of.
That's not what this is about. Okay,
really is. It's a chat room.
I didn't sign up for this.
What's that thing? It's like a neighborhood watch. They got a neighborhood watch chat room.
Yeah, but it's more of a chat room.
They'll comment on literally everything, and that's kind of annoying to me.
Can you realize? Can you believe the Figueroas haven't put their recycling bin back in the past 2 days? Wow.
To keep running it over.
Oh, geez. Lazy, am I right?
Like, I just, I'm not a big fan of having my phone ring constantly. You already know I'm not the greatest texter out there. So just having unnecessary messages like that.
Oh, it's fair.
No.
And then your phone is all jammed up. With
You're
all
dead to me.
I have so much notifications for what? This is not important. I want to know what's going on in the neighborhood. that I should have an alert on, not if you're sick or not.
Like if there's something dangerous going on, like, hey, there's been someone who's been stealing mail or something like that.
That does come up, and I do like seeing that because I get to
for sure, which makes sense.
Look out.
Those things make sense. If someone has a tickle in their throat, not necessarily worth reporting, I don't think.
No.
So Christian Dior, Panama national team, and the Ring app, you're dead to us.
You're dead to me.
Bum.
And that's about do it for us today on this July 5th. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hawk and Crowder are next. I know Hawk, Solana, and Jimmy will be in the house. They're going to get you going with all their craziness and fun. Tobin and Leroy, Fig, Marcos will be back on Monday, lunes. And we hope that you have a great weekend with some Copa, some Euro, Marlins baseball maybe, Inter Miami, all that fun stuff. This has been the Tobin and Leroy Show on 560 WQAM.
Hope you might have a good day.